afternoon, everybody. Good evening and good morning. It's the Cryptid Huntress. I'm Jessica Jones, and boy, do I have a fantastic show for us tonight. We are hanging out with my good buddy, Mr. Eric Testerman this evening, and we are going to be talking about the Flintville Monster. The Flintville Monster out of Tennessee. This thing is no regular Bigfoot, y'all. It has been described in a couple of different ways, but every direction you go in, this monster sounds like a Bigfoot that is super violent. What I wrote in the intro is that it chooses violence, and there's a lot of people that do that as well in this world. So yeah, we got a lot to discuss tonight. It has been remote viewed, and the results are quite astonishing, as a matter of fact. And so, of course, Eric is here tonight, author E.D. Testerman. He's going to take a deep dive into the Flintville Monster out of Tennessee with me tonight. And so I hope you guys are ready and you're buckled up, all you buttercups out there. And yes, thank you so much for joining me. Yesterday, we had Barry Littleton here, and we talked about sleep paralysis entities. I'm going to call them entities, okay? Because not everything is a demon, y'all. But some people do believe that when they wake up, sometimes they can't breathe. They got a demon on them. Okay, so that was a fantastic show. We actually not only talked about the sleep paralysis entities, but we talked about ways to get ourselves out of sleep paralysis. And I gave you guys some pointers along with Barry. And I think that is a very important show. If you've ever had sleep paralysis, please go back and watch that. And yeah, check it out, y'all. Okay, well, if you guys would like to check out my shows and everything I'm doing, y'all go over to the cryptidhuntress.com, and you have my calendar of events. I think the next event that I have for sure that's coming up, I can't remember, y'all. You know, I stay busy. I stay really busy, y'all. But I do have in October, we have the Squatch Fishing Outfitters are having the Cornwallis 1828 Bigfoot. I guess it's just Bigfoot. Lately, I've been doing Bigfoot and Dogman town halls. This is a town hall with that fantastic lineup of speakers: Kumbo Baker, Mark Green, Greg House, Mark Newbill, Flat Rock, Greg Ogles, and myself. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great event down in South Alabama. Y'all get your tickets. Actually, you don't need tickets. Just show up. And if you want to go on a Bigfoot expedition, you can sign up for that. Okay, that's what you do sign up for. And the town hall is free, and it costs to go on that expedition. Okay, but it was well worth it. And you might be out there with some all-stars, okay, if you go Bigfoot. Okay. All right. Well, I just spent the weekend, as a lot of y'all know, up in Kentucky. I spent the weekend with some good friends of mine, the Brotherhood of the Wolf. We were up there in the LBL, and I had some really strange encounters up there at the Witches Cemetery and beyond. And so I drove through Tennessee. That's like the longest leg of my trip is going through Tennessee to get to Kentucky from Georgia. And as a matter of fact, I did drive through North Alabama. And the place that we're talking about tonight is just right on the Alabama-Tennessee border, as a matter of fact, just west of where I drove through. Okay, but this place is full of high strangeness. It is the Appalachian Mountains. And as we all know, there are a lot of strange creatures out there. And tonight we are going to be looking into the Flintville Monster. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to read the intro. I guess I'll read it from over here tonight. Okay, I ran out of ink, y'all. Golly, it's always something. Okay, so in Flintville, Tennessee, there is a terrifying monster who chooses violence. It's left a trail of smashed cars, blood, and traumatized residents for several decades. The first reported encounter occurred in 1976 when a Flintville resident told the city police that her car was slapped by a large hairy arm from the brush on the side of a rural road, snapping off the antenna of her vehicle. The creature jumped on her roof, bouncing up and down. It dented the roof in, and she described it as a giant, hairy monster. The local newspaper picked up the story, and the Flintville Monster made its public debut. Shortly after that incident, and for years following, numerous residents reported violent encounters with the beast, from being chased, having objects thrown at them, an attempted kidnapping. The Flintville Monster did not discriminate against men, women, or children. It targeted them all. The creature was described as standing about 7 to 8 feet tall, very muscular, a humanoid body. Some say covered in dark hair, others say covered in white hair. We're going to get into that tonight. And it had a grotesque face with a human / ape-like features. Okay, there's no doubt they believe this thing was a mix between a human and an ape, is what they're saying. But it had deep-set, glowing red eyes. It had sharp teeth. And it had a horrible stench. They described it as being like a skunk or a rotting dead animal. Now, what exactly was the Flintville Monster? The violent creature that bares its fangs and slashes the air with its claws. Sounds real grumpy, doesn't it? Although it's described as a Bigfoot, it seems to be far more dangerous and violent than a typical Bigfoot. Of course, I was tasked with the Flintville Monster as a coordinate remote viewing target just a little while back. And tonight we're going to be discussing the data here. All of this data, a matter of fact, is over on my Patreon. If you guys would like to become a member of my Patreon, there's a couple of different tiers over there. And I would love to have you guys join the Patreon. I put all of my remote viewing targets over there, along with the entire presentation that I show to the public. It's all over there, plus more. And so thank you to all my Patreon members. But yes, the data is over there if you'd like to see it. And so, of course, I have author E.D. Testerman, a.k.a. Eric, is here in the studio with me tonight. And Eric has his own YouTube channel. It's called The Bizarre and the Unknown. You guys can find his books over on Amazon. Just look up author E.D. Testerman. You can also find him on the weekends over on his channel and on Nighthawk High Strangeness channel. Please help me welcome to the show my good buddy, Mr. Eric Testerman. Hey, Eric.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. Thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome. I apologize ahead of time if I yawn. I just got off of work and got home, so I may be a little pooter today.
Did you have a long week, Eric?
Yeah. I got called in, or I had to go in Monday when I was supposed to be off, and luckily you caught me at a good time because I'm supposed to work tomorrow, but I got tomorrow off, so I'm like, oh, thank God. Contractors were wanting to work. I was like, dude, I need a day off. I was like, I'm taking Friday off. I need a day off.
Oh man. Well, thank you for taking the time out to be here tonight. I always have fun when you come on the show.
Oh, and, yeah, it's always love being on here.
Oh, thank you. Well, I figured this might be right up your alley. You know, we like to talk about weird, crazy cryptids, and you've got some that even live on your property out in Missouri.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah. Well, this one that we're talking about tonight, actually, it sounds more like a Bigfoot, the way people describe it. Okay, but this thing, like I said, one of my favorite phrases is, it chooses violence. Okay, and it really does. It really does. It seems to be either grumpy or maybe there's something more to it. I don't know. Are you familiar with this Flintville Monster?
No, not really. But the story behind it's very similar to a lot of them that I've heard. With the aggression side of it, which, if it's a Gugwe, yeah, it's going to be aggressive. But people forget there's so many reports of these older Bigfoots that seem to be more aggressive than the younger ones. Is it because they can't hunt as good as they used to because they've gotten older? Is it because they're just like that old man on the porch, get off my lawn? Possibly. I mean, it's hard to say. But there is so many reports of these older Bigfoots that are grayish to whitish color that are aggressive. Is it because they are a type of albino and something just chemically doesn't go right in their brain pan and they're more aggressive than their other ones? I don't know, man. It's fascinating to hear.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, okay. So I can tell you from experience, but I do know that Alabama has what they call the Alabama white thing. And this place that we're talking about, speaking of Alabama, Larry Sharp is from Alabama. Thank you so much for being here, Larry. He has been a member of the Hunt Club for 26 months. Thank you so much, Larry, for that. And I also wanted to recognize you for also gifting a Cryptid Huntress Hunt Club membership tonight. Thank you for doing that, Larry. You're so sweet, and you're the best. He's definitely from He's an Alabama Bigfooter. Okay. And
Yeah.
and also Michigan Salmon, thank you for that super sticker as well. He said, Bigfoot, come visit me, please.
It's funny. You said Alabama white man, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. I've heard that before. I done when I gotten out of the Marines and went to the Army when I got hurt. I was down in Redstone Arsenal, Alabama, studying to be an ammo specialist, and I remember the phrase "Alabama white man" when I was down there.
Yeah. Well, we call it the Alabama white thing. I know Glenn has seen it.
That's it.
Yeah. Glenn Jackson is on my teams with me. He has seen the Alabama white thing in Alabama. And a lot of people have. But we also, so we have that there. And I want to show a map to the audience as to where we're talking about. Okay, so let's see. Flintville, Tennessee is right on the border, like I said, of Alabama and Tennessee. Right smack dab in the middle of Alabama, pretty much. But not too far from Georgia over there. And so if you want to get a closer look here, this is the county it's in. It's in a Lincoln County is where this is called. And there's a good bit of Bigfoot reports out of Lincoln County. And when I say that the Alabama white thing is just right there south of it, it's just right there south of it. And I also wanted to point out too that we have reports of a white Bigfoot in North Georgia as well. So it's all right there in the southern Appalachians. The Appalachians run all the way down into kind of northern Alabama, I guess, like northwest Alabama. And then, of course, over to Georgia where I live. I'm technically in the Appalachians where I live. It's a very southern tip. But yeah, there's multiple reports of white or gray Bigfoots in North Georgia and in Alabama right there in West Alabama.
Yeah.
So could be that, but we don't get a lot of reports of violent types, kidnapping types of Bigfoots out of that area. So I don't know.
Yeah, them old timers down there in Alabama and Georgia, because I spent some time in both Alabama and Georgia while in the military. They'll tell you them swamps hold secrets. They tell you that all times. Like, man, don't go to them swamps. You don't know them swamps. Because them swamps hold secrets. Hell yeah, Missouri. Hell yeah, Tyler.
Missouri.
That's how we say it here,
yeah. Yeah, Larry, the migration. They could be migrating. But what do you think about the white, though? Because in my mind, I'm thinking they could be albino or they could just be old. And I think that's kind of probably what you think, too, right?
That's pretty much, yeah. Because that's an interesting thing. A lot of people think that abominable snowman's white. No. Actually, the abominable snowman just looks like our Bigfoot. He lives up in up in the mountains. White is actually a rarity. There's very few reports of a white one. Can there be albino type Bigfoot? We see it in all life forms, in human and animals alike. So yes, there absolutely could be an albino Bigfoot. You cannot, dispel that. It has to be put in that category because everything else can have an albino. At the same time, there is multiple reports of people seeing Bigfoot that has grayed or is graying. So the fact that they get old and gray too, just like everything else, our animals do it, we do it, everything gets old and grayed. The possibility of being an old one, it has to be on them books too, because it's just genetics.
Oh yeah. I've noticed that I'm getting gray a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to point mine out, but yeah, I'm getting gray too. Yeah.
Can't hide mine.
it just happens, And one day, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be fully gray because I know my dad's not and my mom's not either. So yeah. But anyways, that's besides the point. So some of these things could be albino, and albino animals have red eyes, right?
True albinos, yes.
True albinos, and that even includes humans, I believe.
Yes.
And
true albinos.
This thing is described as having red eyes, but the people who've seen it, like the ones that saw the brown version of it, so that makes me believe there's more than one. Okay, there's definitely more than one of these things. But they say that they had red eyes. It was darker color with bright red eyes. So I don't know. One of those people actually, I was kind of doing a little. I was kind of scanning the internet for some information on this thing tonight, right before the show, and I found my buddy Bob has a YouTube channel. It's called The Caffeinated Cryptid. Shout out to Bob. And he had interviewed a gentleman that is, well, he says in this interview that he was declared like one of the first sightings of the Flintville Monster, but like I have other sightings that say that a woman was the first person that saw it. So I don't know, they're fighting over the title, I guess. I don't know, but let me read this real quick because Ray Stillman is a outdoorsman and former local TV personality. He says he was the first reported Bigfoot witness to the Flintville Monster in 1973. Now it could be because I think the first one that I have is 1976. So they did a documentary on this, I guess last year. It was like a 50 years later documentary on the Flintville Monster. He said that in 1974, actually, Flintville became the epicenter of sightings of this bipedal creature that eyewitnesses described as a towering figure with some claiming it was covered in solid white fur, while others reported dark brown or jet black variations. And people want to know, like, was it a Bigfoot or what? Now, I listened to this interview. I listened to a good bit of it. And it did sound like it was a Bigfoot. And his encounter didn't seem as violent as some of the other ones. His was chill. His was like super chill. Maybe they, I don't know. I just think there's a whole bunch of different ones of these. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, let's see. So his account was prior to this one. Now, the one that I had initially to start off with said the first one was in 1976. Now, his goes back further than that. And this gentleman actually said that he was fox hunting. Okay. He was fox hunting, and I think that they just kind of stumbled upon this creature. He said that he and his friend watched this thing for over 10 minutes, Eric. I mean, what are the odds of that? 10 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, that's more than I've ever gotten. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. It's very unusual to hear somebody sitting there for, 10 minutes watching face to face with a Bigfoot. I mean, that's it's almost unheard of. I'm not saying it's not true. I believe the guy, but that's a long time.
Yeah.
So
that means they must be pretty comfortable with him there, or is this a rare situation where they just let the guard down and didn't realize it?
Yes, I guess so. Well, let's go to the next part of this thing. Was after his in 1976, there was a woman who went to the police department, Eric. She was terrified. She said that something like a large hairy arm had like reached out of the woods, and it snapped off the antenna on her car. Okay. And she said she only got a glimpse of a shadow before whatever this was jumped on top of her car and started bouncing up and down, and it dented the roof of her car. She said it was a giant hairy monster. And then, of course, the newspaper picked this thing up, and all hell broke loose, Eric, after that. And so right after that, a woman named Jenny Robertson reported she reported a close encounter. She reported, I would say that's a southern accent, but that's not. Okay. But she said that she was deep cleaning her house in 1976 when her young son, Gary, was playing in the backyard. She said she heard Gary scream. She ran out onto the porch to find out what was wrong. She immediately was overwhelmed with what she described as a dead rat smell. It smelled like dead rat. Now, listen, I know we've had a dead mouse in our house before in the garage. I've smelled it. It smells like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah. So she was smelling dead rats, and she busted through the screen door, and she was astonished to see a large, hairy humanoid that must have been 8 feet tall running towards her house. So she screamed, and she ran to Gary, and she snatched him up and ran into her house as fast as she could. She slammed the door. She locked it just as this thing reached her house. She said she ran to the window to look at it, and she called the police. and told them that her son had almost been kidnapped by someone or something that she couldn't explain. And they said that this was a second case. I think it's the third case now of a large hairy beast. And then the police took action, and a group of local hunters got together at the Robertson house to begin scouring the woods. They rounded up a posse. Okay. And so, of course, Eric, they had to form search lines. They went into the woods with their shotguns and rifles, and they were ready to go unalive this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they went in the daytime. They went at nighttime. They trudged through the brush. And for at least a mile or a half a mile surrounding it, the house, they didn't find anything. And then they called off the search sometime that night. Started back the next morning, but they didn't find anything. And so then they said that they did find, or they heard a commotion in a thicket along the back fence. And when they got back there, they were pelted with rocks, but they couldn't see anything. Now, Eric, that to me sounds like Bigfoot activity.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I agree with you on that one. You know,
Yeah.
That is very, very typical. I mean, I've had things walking on my roof. Well, I mean, you've heard some of the audio I've even caught of that happening.
Yes.
But I can, I've had, windows tapped. I've heard the slap on the side of the house out here. That's very common.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's get back to the hunting posse. Okay. I keep saying I want to change the name of the hunt club to the hunt posse. I think that sounds way cooler. Okay. But, okay. So they said that after they got hit with rocks and stuff, or rocks were thrown at them, they went back the next morning and they found some evidence to corroborate what that lady had reported. They said hanging from a patch of briars was a clump of matted, smelly hair. And beneath that, they found footprints leading deeper into the woods that were 16 inches. Now, the footprints were strange enough. And then a forensic lab analyzed a hair sample and said it could not be identified as any known animal. All right. So that sounds kind of like they've got them a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very common occurrence when they collect hair samples and have it tested. It always comes back as either unknown or unknown primate.
That's right. Well, and this was back in the 1970s. Okay, so they set this off in the 1970s. I mean, and the Patty film was filmed 1967, so it had been about 10 years or less than 10 years, I guess. And but I find that interesting. Out of Tennessee, they're already testing samples of hair for Bigfoot, evidence. So that's kind of cool. All right. Well, let's fast forward a few years in the future. Okay. So over the next few years, several reports were filed in and around Flintville. And one man had said that a 7-foot tall hairy monster chased him through the woods, howling and screeching like an ape. Another woman claims she hit on the floorboard of her car when a creature attacked her. Her car. She didn't get attacked physically, but her car did. And so these things are attacking cars. Several attacks were reported in the early 1980s, including one by a plumber who said his truck's windshield was smashed by a monster, and another by a housewife who said a black hairy creature chased her inside the house and beat on the door. In 1989, a church pastor complained that something had destroyed the windshield and antenna of his car. They're going after the cars, Eric. And in that same week, a group of teens reported that a large man-like ape was running across a field on the edge of town. And then the last official sighting in Flintville that was reported was in 1993. Since then, the Flintville Monster has gone silent, at least in Flintville. But there are other areas outside of Flintville that are in Lincoln County where they started getting new reports. Okay, so I think that the heat was on, Eric, when it started attacking all those cars and stuff, and it had to move its territory. It had to go migrate.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Because they know that, we got thunder sticks that can hurt them. So they're like, oh, crap, we got a bunch of these, long pigs walking around here at these thunder sticks, and they're going to jack me up. I better go. I believe that's a possibility.
Yes, the long pigs. I don't know. Listen, if I had a posse after me, I'd probably take off too if I was a Bigfoot. Yeah. Man, that's wild.
I'm too
Well,
old, fat, and crippled to run. I'll just sit there and I'm a screamer, so I just have to scream at them and let whatever happens. I can't get away no more.
oh my gosh. Well, okay, yeah, I know, right? I mean, I don't know. There's more reports, by the way, too. Okay, and I'd like to pull the BFRO.net website up. A lot of times we're talking about some of these reports, but I also want to note that I've never made a report to BFRO myself. Any of the encounters I've had of anything, because I'm on a research team. Some of the guys that I research with have been the investigators for BFRO, and some of these reports have their names on them that they investigated. Okay, so not all the reports, not all the sightings are reported. Do you know what I mean? So, okay, let's see. Let's pull up the BFRO.net, and we're going to pull up Lincoln County so the audience can see this. Because I like to show these reports, and these actually these are more recent reports. There's one from 1987 on there. Okay, but the older reports are not listed, and so. I mean, this one, the earliest one they have here would be in 1987, off of Till Hollow Road, and I don't know. I mean, everybody can go back and read these yourselves. Like go to BFRO.net. Just look at Lincoln County in Tennessee, and they're talking about how they saw this. It looked like a Bigfoot on the side of the road, basically, and they said they passed something. They hit their brakes, but then they didn't stop, but like 100, 200 yards past it. And they reversed back up to see if it was still there, and they said it wasn't just a person; it was way bigger than a person, and it had to be about 6.5 to 7 feet tall, and half the width of their car. So it was a hefty dude, and so there's that one. That's in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Okay, that's Lincoln County.
Which would make sense if theirs is only from 1987, because I think they only report what is reported to them as in current ones. So if it's anything past, that date, probably why they don't have anything.
Yes. Well, this right here is actually from 2003. There's another report out of Lincoln County. This is a white one, and this was the person who reported this. This is in Sweet Springs Road. The person's niece went out to roll the windows up on her daughter's car when she heard someone hollering at her. She looked at the field next to the house and saw something white standing there. She said the noise spooked her, so she ran back in the house. And the daughter's boyfriend took a flashlight out to the fence to see if he could see anything. What he saw stunned him for a few seconds. It was a huge white furry creature. He fired his gun, and the creature stumbled and took off running. So I guess he hit it. And they said the daughter and the niece were standing on the porch, and they witnessed the whole thing. And they said the creature was described as being a huge white furry creature on 2 feet instead of 4. And they heard the low, deep grunt they had heard earlier. And it was heard breaking trees as it ran off. Okay, so 3 people saw it, 2 adults, 1 child. And then they said that another woman said there had been another sighting in the area about 7 years prior to them. And they saw a creature run across the road. And then 6 years before that, they had a horse that went crazy one night, and their fence was broken, and they had long white hair stuffed in the barbed wire when they went out there. And so they talked about the Flintville Monster sighting just about 20 miles away from where they were. Okay, so, but anyways, these are some of the reports out of that area. So this is one of the white ones. I'm going to say this is going to be the Alabama white thing or the Tennessee white thing. And then the next sightings jump up to 2015, 2017, 2023. They're all Elk River. The Delrose Cluster is what they call it. And the first encounter in 2015, it was a mother and a daughter. They heard Bigfoot howls near Hobbs Bridge. And 2017, it was hunters. They heard howls on a private lease near Elk River. And then in 2023, large greenish eyes outside a mother's window at 3 a.m. And they didn't actually see anything, but they were getting audio because they were hearing things. Well, they saw the green eyes. but they didn't have like what you would consider to be like a Class A sighting or anything like that. But yeah, interesting stuff. So that's a nice little cluster of stuff right there.
Yeah.
And let's see, I have some other sightings right here, and let's see. So in 1987, is that one that we just looked at? Was that 1987? Let's see, 87. Yeah, this is 87. I don't know if this is the same report or not. I think it might be. But let's see here. Yeah, it said that they left their. Oh, it's different. So there's another one. Oh no, this is it. This is the same one. The guy that was on the side of the road. He was in a Camaro, and he saw something about 6.5, 7 feet tall. He slammed on his brakes and went back. Go check it out. Okay, I just have some more details on these reports. That's what it is. And okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, a lot of people live out there live on a lot of acreage, Eric, and so that house where the niece was and the kid, I mean, that's like 66 acres, they say, of property out there. And they said that this is a little more detailed. It says the creature was over 6 feet tall with a very broad body, especially at the shoulders. The creature's face was in between a monkey and a human, and its hair was long and coarse like a golden retriever, but it was white. And it looked like an older person's hair, like an elderly person's hair. And the creature was standing on 2 legs, and it ran away on 2 legs like a human. And so there's that. Now, before we get into the data, I did want to talk about this this cluster they had. Okay, so they had what they call the Elk River Delrose cluster. And so they said it's a remote area of farmland, low hills. The dense forested property is next to the Hobbs Bridge in western Lincoln County. So a mother and daughter were joking about drawing out a Bigfoot while enjoying their walk by knocking on a tree with a down limb, as the cryptids are said to do. So they were going to do some tree knocks, Eric.
Yeah.
And a few seconds later, they heard a howling scream they could not describe coming from the woods about 50 yards behind them. So they ran back to their car and they heard it again. And once they reached their vehicle, they claimed to have heard loud knocking sounds of thick limbs being smashed into trees. And they couldn't see what was causing it. They quickly drove off, and that scared them half to death, I think. And then in 2017, a few miles from the Hobbs Bridge encounter, 2 hunters reported being howled at while driving to their deer stands in remote sections of the Elk River Delrose cluster. They said they could hear the bellowing loudly over their running diesel truck engine. The driver said this is the second time in the same area they encountered the loud howling noise. They have never seen what was making the sound. And the last sighting of that cluster was around 2023, about 4 miles northwest of where the Hobbs Bridge, and the hunters heard the howling. And they say that the person who made that report was a professional and well-respected local female resident who did not want to go identified. They said, let's see. Let me tell you what she saw, because this is kind of scary. All right. So this was the woman that was in her house. She was chilling. And she said that she was gaming on her computer at 2 a.m. My son does that. All right. So she said that she had turned down the sound just enough that when her boys were in bed, it wouldn't disturb them. But still, it was kind of loud. She said she brought the cats inside the house at night because she's lost a few to coyotes. And cars had run over her cats in the past, so she brings them in the house. She has a hole in the foundation of her house that was knocked out to treat it for termites. The cats like to crawl through and hang out under the floor. And so at first she thought this cat was still outside or whatever, but she was gaming. She heard this really deep growl similar to her cat, she said, but she thought it was her cat. But it seemed kind of muffled, so she assumed the cat was under her house, and it was growling at the neighbor's cat. So she ignored it for a little while until the cat ventured out from under the house, and the growling got louder, and it was less muffled. And at some point, the sound went from this muffled growl to a growl that she could only describe as a cow in distress. And that's what she thought it was. Mm-hmm. But at that point, it was right outside her office window, Eric, about 4 feet from her desk. So she turned off her speaker to listen to it. And she said that she was thinking that a cow was attacking her cat for a second. And she was like, what the hell is going on? I don't even have a cow. She was like, we already have cows. But there are cows across the street, but she never hears the cow. And this sounded like it was right outside her window. So she started questioning this, and she was freaking out. And she figured that her cat was facing off with some kind of unknown animal, she said. And she glanced out her office window. The curtains were open. I'm so tired of people not having blinds. I tell you what. But she said, staring at her were a set of eyes. And when she looked out the window, she saw these eyes. And remember, they were green, according to the report. The noise stopped. And she said there was no way to explain the terror that she felt. And the eyes were watching her at a side glance, she said, and that they held the gaze for about a couple of seconds. She stared back, and then they turned away, and then it glided off, she said. And she grabbed her cell phone and calmly left the room that had no windows in it. She said a no window area, which was difficult because all the windows on that side of the house had open curtains. I'm just going to say, you got to be crazy not to have curtains, Eric. You don't have curtains, do you?
I have curtains. I just don't close them.
God, you are crazy. You're crazy. And I say that with all due respect. It's crazy.
I've been accused of that most of my life, man. I'm used to it. I was actually doing some contemplating here on them dates that you had up from BFRO. And I started noticing a little pattern with those dates.
Did you?
So I noticed in the first one from 76 to 87, that's 11 years. And then the next one was 5 years, then 3 years, then 10 years, and then 3 years again.
Oh.
So that's almost like a migrating pattern. I mean, it's probably following a food source. You should
migration. You like to show off. Oh my God. Dang it, Max. That's funny. Yeah. That's actually a really good observation, Eric. Yeah. And I can agree with that. That's what Larry said. Larry lives in Alabama. He said that it's migration patterns, potentially. I think that's really smart. Yeah.
The ones here, when my mom was still alive and my dad lived here before I bought the property off my pops after mom passed away, they used to come in from mid to late fall to early to mid spring, and then they'd be gone through the summer. Which could be because my dad would hear a noise and he would pop a boomstick off, and this is how it is. So I'm wondering, with the fact that they knew how I was with them, and the fact that he's not here no more, if that's why now I get footprints, noises, everything like all year round now. So I used to have thought they migrated, and they probably did at one time. But it's because they knew of, hey, the older, longer bearded gray guy likes to go boom, boom at us, and the younger one doesn't. So I don't know. It's just always been a theory of mine. That's why. But migrating patterns is very common amongst cryptids altogether, not just Bigfoot, but cryptids, period. So, and I just start looking at the numbers and how they're very close and very similar on the pattern there. That would suggest to me that white one is probably migrating.
Yeah. Man, that's a really good point. So yeah, I love the pattern recognition. We gotta watch for patterns in this kind of stuff. And if those are the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I find it interesting that she said that it had green eyes, though. This is different because the other reports, almost all of the reports that I had read previous were saying they had red eyes for the people who saw this.
I'm curious, is that reports because the headlights was in their eyes, or is that reports of the headlights not being in their eyes? Because they can see at night. Anything you see at night, when a light hits their eyes, they reflects back. And a lot of times it's red. It's just red reflection. It's not self-illuminating. It's red reflective eyes. Very common amongst the predator species when it comes to that. And, Bigfoot is a predator species. It's an omnivore. It eats meat. It eats plants. So if it headlights its eyes and illuminates red, it would make sense that way. Now, once again, like we talked about earlier too, a true albino has red eyes. So,
Mhm.
is there one that's a true albino and one that's not? That's also possible.
That's true. Well, with some of these reports, it sounds like they were seeing it from a side angle as well. Like they were coming and, some of them just saw the eyes. Like that one lady that said that she saw the arm that reached out and it was a
Mm-hmm.
hairy humanoid arm that pulled off the antenna on her car. And what's up with that too, Eric? Why are they targeting the cars and the antennas? What's that? Like, why would they do that? I wonder.
Just
That's
mad,
weird.
don't like them, irritates
Man.
them. I mean, you got to think our older vehicles used to have antennas on top quite often on the roof.
Mhm.
Some of them were on the hood or on the quarter fender, where a lot of them are nowadays. Some of them are in your window, but back in that time, um, armor, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, Mother Goose. I'm old Southern hillbilly. I can't speak at La Tasa type Ghibli. But a lot of cars back in them older days, they would have the antennas on the roof. So it could just been where it swiped and it hit the roof and it caught the antenna. Now, I mean, like us when we were young pups, I mean, what type of antenna was it? A CB antenna? Because we used to run around CBs all the time. In fact, we used to have a fun game we played when we were cruising called CB tag, where you're trying to find your other partner through the CB. Tag, I got you. You know, was it a CB antenna or a radio antenna? That's the other thing we got to look at is too, because a lot of times if they had CBs, which was very, very popular back in the 70s and 80s and
True.
up to the mid 90s, most people had CBs in their vehicles.
Mhm. We all need CBs. You need to get your ham license, y'all. Okay.
I
Get your
miss
ham
having a CB.
license.
I miss
Yeah.
having a CB.
That's actually something that is a good advice for everyone watching right now. You guys should go get your ham licenses. Okay. And that's kind of a half-ass requirement for some of my teams, actually. I say half-ass. But yeah, it is kind of we do use CB radios out in the field and stuff. I mean, there's nothing like having, a repeater not too far away and you're out in the woods. I mean, let me give you an example. We were out in Kentucky this past weekend and we had no phone service at all. No internet, no phone, no nothing. And we couldn't locate people that we were looking for. We couldn't find them. Nobody, we had no way to get in touch with anybody. And had everybody had their CB radios out there, it wouldn't have been an issue. Okay. It wouldn't have been an issue at all.
For a long time, that was our cell phone, was our CBs. We had big powered ones here in the home, and we had the smaller ones in our vehicle. So if we was out on somewhere, call into the house, hey, can you whatever code name, just say, hey, Mother Hen, this is the gobbler. Do you got this available where you can bring it out to my location? And that's how we talk to each other. It was that way on the farms. It was that way in a lot of places. That's just CBs was popular. That was our first cell phone.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm a proponent of ham radio. Okay. So, so y'all take it and do what you will with that information. Okay. Script says get sat phones, satellite phones. Those are good too. They are, but you have to have a subscription to those and it costs money. CB radios, you just have CB radio, right? Just got to pay for the equipment basically and the license. But
yeah,
even if you don't have a license, it's good to have one in an emergency.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't have them with me. Jay Truther. Yeah, that's a good point. I got walkie talkies too, and I've used that one with my kids. When my kids would be out, I'd have them carry a walkie talkie, and I kept one with me too. That way, if they couldn't reach me on a cell phone, you can reach me on the walkie talkie. It's good to have that type of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is. It's good to have CB. Walkie talkies don't pick up the amount of distance though. Like they're not. You can't go very far with walkie talkie though. So if you're like on just a private property and it's like small, those are great. But anyways, I digress. We actually have a little bit more to talk about with these reports out here. Let me see. Fine, I've got so many things open here. Here we go. So the woman that was in her house that had that encounter, that was looking at her through her window with the green eye, she said that she thought it was a person, like a peeping Tom. And she thought it was her creepy neighbor, and he had been snooping, Harry, of course. It's always a creepy neighbor. And she said, but really, there's no way that he would have held a gaze that long. But he would have probably taken off and hidden. And then she was like, well, it must have been my oldest son's friends out there drinking beer in the driveway and messing with her because it was a Friday night. But she ran upstairs to find her youngest son. And so it wasn't her kids, she said. And so she said that she took the time to realize that whatever she saw was not human, because the eyes were a luminescent yellow green, and it was not. She said, well, maybe it was a deer. And so the next day, she was so weirded out by all this, she got the nerve to go outside and look under the window. There were no tracks or any indication of anything that was under her window. And she measured where the eyes hit her window. She said that it would have stood about 6 feet tall from the ground. And she said, I don't know why my brain thought human, as all she saw were eyes. And she said that she replayed it over and over and over again. And thinking about the growl proceeded into that cow bleating like sound, she said. And she hasn't been able to find anything that could do both of that, which is really interesting because, like, I've heard personally, Bigfoot said, try to make themselves sound like cows, Eric. Mm-hmm. That's one of their go-tos, to try to disguise their voice, I guess. They want to sound like other farm animals and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard them make bird sounds. I've heard them make owl sounds. I've heard them make weird dog-like sounds. I've heard them do a couple different things. I mean, it's very common, which that was actually a common practice amongst Native people. If I needed to communicate with you and without letting our target know who we are, let out an animal sound. Like, I mean, I'd say I go out to you and I go, ooh, 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 ooh. Ah, man, my throat's dry.
I'd be like, that's a Bigfoot trying to sound like an owl, but it's really Eric.
And you'll come back with that we're communicating, letting us, each other know where we're at. Bigfoot lived with Native people. If they did it, it's not out of the realm of possibility of Bigfoot doing that too. Is that what's going on? Along with the whoops and the howls and everything else. I believe they use those mimicries to, let another one know where they're at.
Oh yeah. That's actually, that's a good observation too. Yeah. That's what I think all their whoops and their clicks and stuff are. A lot of times it's to triangulate like their locations and stuff. Yep. And also sounding like owls. Owl is a go-to, and the cows are the go-to. Mm-hmm. And I've heard what sounded like ducks out there and stuff, but I think that was the deer like rubbing their noses on the ground or something. I don't know, whatever the deers do. Deers do weird stuff. Okay, all the animals do weird stuff. So, yep. Yeah. But anyways. Okay. Let's see. So she also was like, the woman was trying to think, like, what could have made those green eyes, the lights light up, like the eyes light up. She said that, well, maybe it was like fireflies, she said, or lightning bugs. But the temperature had dropped that night to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And she said they don't have any lightning bugs in April. And it was after 2 a.m. Okay, so she said that was just really unusual. And so she said all 3 of her kids have had odd experiences over the past 3 years up until that point. And they said they had seen a large green floating orb, a large crouching creature beside the highway, and disembodied sounds of an advancing, odd, wet lung sucking death rattle. That's a weird one. A wet lung sucking death rattle. I think Barry talked about a death rattle yesterday, like when somebody's about to die and like they have that death rattle sound.
It's horrible, man. I watched my grandmother go through that before she passed, and yeah, it's
Ooh. Well, that's what they described hearing, and they said that there's also a grunting creature in the tree line by the house, and that something hit the camper behind their house. And also her best friend also told her that she saw something large and dark on her parents' upper deck of the house about 2 miles away back in the 1990s. And so, of course, they sent some BFRO researchers, some investigators over to go check it out. And so, yeah, she did say that the eye shine was actually more, or the eye glow was actually more like a reflection type light. And so she said she thought maybe it was just a reflection, but there was nothing to reflect it off of. There were no lights out there. Okay. So I don't know. I've been seeing my own personal encounters with like sublimated eye glow over the past year and all these trips that I've been going on, Eric, out in the woods. And
You've
I
been
gotta say,
busy here lately. I'm jelly because you've been out there more than I have lately. I've been working my tail off, and you're out there tramping through the woods. I'm jelly of you.
yeah, well, come out there with me sometime. And
I need
I
to
got
get
more
down there.
trips. I got more trips to Kentucky planned and stuff too. So you
Yeah.
have to come out to Kentucky with me sometime. I want to come to Missouri. Okay,
Dude,
Missouri.
I'll take you out, man.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
go. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go, man. We'll go. Yeah, I need to get to New Mexico too because Jesus Payon Jr.'s want me to come out and do some documentaries with him out there, and I just ain't had the money to go.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm making my rounds right now, doing my Bigfoot Dogman stuff. I mean, I love it. I'm having so much fun, and it's also very scary as well. Sometimes I don't know. We'll talk about it later. But of course, we were at my buddy Matt drove. He knows that LBO like the back of his hand. I don't know how he knows how to get around that place. It is wow. And he took us to some really creepy cemeteries in the middle of Dogman country. Okay, so the Dogmen are out there, those cemeteries. So, but anyway, I talked about that on Monday, y'all. You want to go back and watch that show? Okay, well, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we could go. Look, Mike says, sending BFRO investigators. Nothing will go wrong with that. Shout out to BFRO, man. I love you guys. Okay, I do. But listen, like I said, some of those reports are some of the guys on my teams that used to be in BFRO, and most of them either got kicked out or they had to leave. Okay,
because like comments.
I'm just saying. I love my BFRO friends, y'all. Okay, but back in the day, I don't know if they're still doing this, but back in the day, they were complaining that like they would leave out the paranormal stuff out of the reports. So there's that. It's all paranormal.
I mean, I investigate paranormal, I investigate supernatural, and I investigate cryptids. I love it. We're all tied together in one way or another. That's the way I look at it. But I mean, I get it. Bigfoot research organization. You don't want the paranormal in there. I can't be that way. I like it all.
Yeah. Yes, Max. I was in Illinois about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I spoke down in Grafton at a conference, and that place was squatchy for sure. And so yeah, I'd like to go back there sometime. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm making my round though around the country right now. Okay, Max. So okay. I'm thinking we should probably get into some of this remote viewing data.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? Because it's really wild. Okay. And I mean, I've heard some pretty cool information on Gugwe lately too. Okay, and I know I titled this "The Flintville Monster, Tennessee Gugwe." All right. Now, here's the problem with that though. Okay, because it does sound like a Gugwe kind of. Because people are saying, well, yeah, it's more than a Bigfoot. It's not a Dogman, they don't think, right? Not a Dogman, more than a Bigfoot, and it's violent. Now, I think the remote viewing data might back that up, that it is. But the problem is, I think if it was a Gugwe, I don't think any of these people would have survived these encounters.
Well, they're in the vehicle, so I mean, that might be why they survived.
Maybe. Okay. Well, there's that. But don't you think they could just rip the door off a vehicle too if they were like really mad?
If it's moving. I mean, if it's moving, you got the speed ahead of you. It's going to take them some time to get up to speed, get to you. If you already got the momentum, they don't. I mean, that'd be one way of getting away from it.
Yes. Speaking of slapping cars, what's up, Angel? Thank you so much. She says, "Hey, Jess and Eric, show slaps as always."
Hell yeah.
Angel, that's so sweet. Thank you for that super sticker. You're so sweet.
Yeah. She is a sweetheart.
Slapping. Yes. We're going to slap this data right now, too, I guess. I don't know if I'm using that correctly in the sentence, but okay. This data's going to slap. Okay.
Yeah, it's banging. Let's get it going.
Oh my God. Okay, so well, what are some other cryptids that they have out in Tennessee too, right? Because we're talking about Gugwe. We don't hear a whole lot about Gugwe in Tennessee. I mean, I
No,
haven't.
we've had reports here in Missouri. We've had them in Arkansas. You know, I'm a big believer the Boggy Creek incident was a Gugwe. I'm, you know, prove me wrong. I guess. I mean, that's just where I believe. I believe they are well known in the South. So being in that area, it's in that roaming zone. So I could see it definitely being a possibility.
Absolutely. Well, I have a little map here, a little piece of artwork somebody made. It's Cryptids of Tennessee, and so they've got things like, let's read them. The Beast of Sugar. What does that say? Sugar Flats Road, I think. I can't
Hmm.
see. Okay. The Bell Witch, of
Beast of
course. We
Sugar
got that.
Flats Road. Yep.
The Crying Angel. I've never heard of that one.
I ain't heard that in forever.
The Cumberland Dragon. I would assume that's a dragon or a reptilian. The Flintville Monster. That's what we're talking about tonight. The Knot Deer. The Pigman. There's always Pigman, y'all. The Spearfinger. That's really out of Western North Carolina, but also East Tennessee.
Yeah.
And the Tennessee. What is that?
Tennessee Terror.
Terror. Okay. The Tennessee Wildman. That looks more like a person, a human. The Wampus Cat.
Got
And
those here.
oh shoot, let me take this down. I'll take that off so I can see. And so we've got the werewolves of Dixon County. That's the Werewolf Springs werewolves. And the Whirling Wimpus. Never heard of that. But it looks like a red-eyed Bigfoot. And then the Wrestling Jack, or Whistling Jack, and the White Bluff Screamer. Okay. I don't know. Screamers, I mean, usually a screamer would end up being a cat. I'm just saying. That's the truth. And here's a little right here of, where people have been encountering these things as well. So, y'all, that was like a kangaroo up there. What the heck?
Tennessee Red Cheetah. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, what is that red thing?
Tennessee Red Cheetah. Huh.
Skin Tom. What is Skin Tom? That looks horrible. Oh man, we're going to look into Skin Tom. It must be a man with no skin on his body, like Rawhead and Bloody Bones.
Yeah.
Rawhead and Bloody Bones. Okay, well, let's get into the remote viewing data of all this. How about that? Okay, so the remote viewing target, the prompt is the Flintville Monster. That's all. The Flintville Monster. Okay, this is a blind coordinate remote viewing target. Now, I was given a set of coordinates, and so all I was given were 8 numbers. Okay, so out of these 8 numbers, I got some very interesting data. Okay, so let's go over the sensory data for the Flintville Monster first. This is a debated cryptid. It's been described as at least 2 or 3 different types of ways, different colors, different colored eyes, and all that. But the one thing that connects all of the sightings is they say it was pretty violent. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay, so for this target, some of the sensory data is strong, muscular, powerful, extreme, mean, illusionist, illusion, deadly, and calculated. Okay, that's the sensory data. All right, so, by the way, if you're wondering what my ideograms were, for anyone who's an actual remote viewer, you're wondering, my ideograms were water, space, and power. Those are my ideograms that I picked out of this. Okay, for the analytic overlay, I wrote power player. Actually, I wrote down power player before I wrote down anything. I kept hearing that when I was doing my ideograms. Okay, so I wrote power player, like-minded. I heard, this is terrible. I heard on crack. Okay. That is on crack. Mean-spirited and evil were in the analytic overlay. Demonic realm was also in the data. Fly by night, course correct, helter skelter. I mean, what is helter skelter? Isn't it like Charles Manson stuff?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I have to look that up. Okay, I wrote down screen memory, karma, and karmic. Deadly force, push to the limits, on target, targets, and targeted. Okay, target. Okay, and then for my drawing, I drew what looked like a target with like eyes on the target. Okay, so like eyes on a target. So that is going to be my stages 1 through 3 coordinate remote viewing data. That's the first 3 stages. Okay, so Eric, what do you think about that? Because to me, this sounds like it's something like I'm targeting, sensing something that is kind of evil but very powerful and extreme. I mean, something that's like on crack. I said on crack. Okay, but something that's like kind of almost demonic a little bit. Some of these. I mean, that's what I wrote down.
I mean, look how Gugwe's described multiple times. That kind of fits it very, very well. Yeah, now it's got me worried. We got crackhead humans now. We got crackhead Bigfoots or crackhead Gugwe's. That's not a good combo, folks.
Well, they do have the cocaine bear in Tennessee as well, right? So,
yeah. Looks actually, like beach back on the menu, boys. I mean, that thing's going to be going everywhere.
Well, you know, there's also the Dogman attack or whatever kind of attack that was on the 2 people that lived in Cott County out in East Tennessee, not too far from Oak Ridge. I think it's south of Oak Ridge Labs and stuff. But I've done some research out that way. And my data on both those attacks involved the word zombie bear in that. Zombie bear.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Zombie bears. I don't know if anybody's heard of zombie bears in my show. I talked about that all the time.
Maybe trying that's to figure out what
yeah, it's like, what is a zombie bear? Okay. Oh, well. Okay, well, I think that whatever this is, it can target people. Okay, like that's what I'm getting from this data. Something that is calculated. There's actually if we go to the next couple of pages, I got one more page. The next page might explain it. Okay, I think it might explain it a little better. But a power player and something that's karmic as well. I find the word that it's interesting that karma and karmic is in my data. So maybe it's something that's karmic, but how would that pertain to a creature like that?
I don't even know what that word means.
Karmic. Okay. All right. Well, the word target came up 3 times on that first page. Well, it came up again on the next page in my stage 4 data. Okay. And I actually heard, like I've audibly heard targeted individual. Okay, targeted individual and gross negligence as well. Okay. So I was for my call it aesthetic information, like where am I? What am I seeing? Like what is the environment looking like, right? I wrote down woods, nature, natural setting, and outdoors. So I was there. And then I wrote down unfriendly. Whatever this is unfriendly. And so I started getting an uneasy feeling. I wrote down not good. I didn't feel good. And I wanted to leave. I wrote down I want to leave. I don't want to be there. And then I wrote down in the analytic overlay, I need to leave. Okay, like whatever this is. And so then I wrote down predatory as part of my sensory data. And then I wrote down the predator. So the predator was out there. Whatever I wrote down the predator. Then I wrote down, so I picked up on some kind of like an entity or something, right? So I was like, well, it's a predator.
Oh, karma.
Yeah.
Sorry. I heard something completely different. You were saying karma. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was saying karma. Thank you, Moon.
Oh, thank you, Moon. Yeah, I heard something completely different.
What you think I said?
I couldn't tell what you said, Cormick or Karmic, and I'm like,
well, Cormick, the spice. I'm just kidding. Spices.
I was sitting there going, I don't even know what that word is.
There are certain words that I do pronounce weird, like Vienna. Okay, so, but yeah, karma. Yeah, Moon at Noon says, karma means do right unto others or pay the price and reap what you have sown.
Yeah, okay. Now that I know what you said, I know what karma is. I heard something completely different.
Yes.
I need hearing aids.
I need glasses. You need hearing aids. I get it. Me too. Okay. Or you just need a translator for me. That's what you need. Okay. Okay. So I wrote down the predator. So I was picking up on like an entity or some kind of consciousness out there, right? So of course, what I did was what any remote viewer that's just remote viewing would do, and that's a deep mind probe. So I did a deep mind probe on whatever this thing is. Okay, I know it sounds weird, but I actually, as one of my tangibles, like, I've got like rows of like places to put the data. My tangible, it was like a creature. There was a creature I was seeing. I wrote down an entity, a being, or a creature. So a creature of some kind. After I wrote down the predator. So I said, when I was picking up on a creature, an entity, not like a person per se. So I said, what are you? What are you? And the answer that I got, this is weird, trapped soul, guard, protector. And then then I ended it out because I was like feeling very uncomfortable, like in this target. And trap soul, guard, and protector. Okay. And
what's blowing my mind about this?
What's that?
You're literally describing my book, Beast of Ozark's First Kill.
Oh, really?
Literally describing that book. I based that, it was just some kind of weird. I was like, I wonder if this could happen. And I literally wrote that book based off that theory. I wonder if this could happen. And you're sitting there just going, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's in my book.
Wow. Whoa, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Well, whether this is a Bigfoot, just a Bigfoot, or like a grumpy Bigfoot, or like a Gugwe or something, it's obviously very violent. And we do know that Bigfoots can be very violent as well. The alpha predator Bigfoots are very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't want to be anywhere near those things.
Now, if something's possessing it, you got something that evil, that vicious, that mean, that strong. You got something evil controlling it, dude. That's bad juju. That's bad juju.
Well, let's take it a step further and let's get into what we've described as, we were up in Uwari and had that self-illuminated eye glow in the woods that we were seeing. Mm-hmm. David Pardue said, that showed up around 2012 with that self-illuminated eye glow. They never had eyes like that before 2012, he said. And now they've got self-illuminated eye glow. Could there be a cyborg element to this? Some kind of alien hybrid kind of thing going on? And maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's a vessel for demonic entities. Golly. Or it could just be
man, and it could be just a straight demons. I mean, demons, a lot of times when you got self-illuminating eyes, that's nothing flesh and blood. That's supernatural. And so if you got a demon that's taking this shape because that's the fear that's in that area and it's wanting to feed off of that fear, I can see that with the red eye side of it. Wow. I don't know, man.
Oh, that's a good point, Erin. Thank you. She says, so it was made a monster due to karma. And it's not happy, nor is it nice.
No.
That could be a possibility as well.
Well, look how many ancient stories talk about that. People doing bad deeds and they're literally turned into monsters.
Cursed.
Could that be what we're dealing with here? Is that's actually happening in current times instead of ancient times?
Oh, that's true. Wow. I mean, I think that's a great observation right there, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that could be. And, I mean, cursed to walk this earth, hidden from, I wouldn't mind being hidden from humanity sometimes myself. I was going to say, cursed to be hidden from humanity.
Look at, what was it, King Lycan, when he fed human flesh to the, to Zeus. And so Zeus cursed him into be a wolf, and therefore that's where the term lycanthrope came from.
Yeah. And the Nephilim, thank you, Michigan Sandman. Yeah, the Nephilim trap soul Bigfoot.
Maybe.
No. Some people think that Bigfoot's are Nephilim. Everything's Nephilim. Yes, I don't know.
Well, and people don't realize what the term Nephilim means. Nephilim is just a Jewish word for giant. It's not a species. That's how you say it in Judaism, Nephilim, when you're talking about giant.
Mm-hmm. Mother Goose says, could a Gugwe be a possessed Bigfoot, drilled or something like that? I mean,
so the old stories from the native people when it comes to Gugwe. Gugwe was much like the Bigfoot we think of now. I can't remember if it was the time that the white man came over or if it was before then. It's been so long, I can't remember the story behind it. But it talked about how they divided in half. Some of them wanted to stay hidden. Some of them wanted to hunt and eat humans. The ones that wanted to hunt and eat humans became known as Gugwe, face eaters. They're very violent, very aggressive, don't like humans, want to eat humans. And that's supposedly where the Gugwe came from. I don't remember the story verbatim. It's been so long since I heard the story, but that was how they described how Gugwe came to be. So Bigfoot is known as Shiai Tonka, elder big brother, the first beings. They were here before humans were, much like Dogman was, not werewolf, Dogman, much like Dogmen were. Many supernatural and flesh and blood things were here way before humans were. Bigfoot and Dogman are amongst those. So, that's one theory when it comes to that is, yeah, it could be. Oh,
yeah. Well, okay. Well, one of the things that they've also described this thing as being is or having are fangs.
mm-hmm.
In its mouth. They said fangs and pointy teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Fangs and pointy teeth. That sounds like a Genoskwa, right? Like a Genoskwa or Gugwe.
Yeah. Mandrill face. Some describe it as mandrill looking face. Some describe it as baboon, which is very similar anyways. But, having that protruded, mouth, that's why some people mistake it and call Gugwe a Dogman. It's not. A Gugwe is a type of Bigfoot. But because of that protruded face with the mandrill and the canines, long canines you have with them, with the Genoskwa and the Gugwe, yeah. Mm-hmm. It is, Ryan. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. But what I'm saying, I'm just used to calling Bigfoot Shiai Tonka. Yeah, Gugwe is from the Iroquois side, yes. There you go.
Yeah. This is one of the go-to pictures. When people talk about Genoskwas, they show pictures like this. I mean, that's kind of scary, right? A little bit. And so that would be something kind of like a Genoskwa. I mean, they're also described as looking like a baboon as well. Now, all the sightings that we've been talking about today, everybody pretty much described it as an ape-like body with like a man-looking face. So it didn't have like a long muzzle on it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so to me, it just sounds more like a really, really violent Bigfoot or something, or just angry, grumpy Bigfoot. Maybe like an alpha of some sort. Because I don't think they describe it as looking just like this. I mean, that's kind of scary right there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into that in the dark alley at night.
No, definitely not. And they did say sharp teeth, and Bigfoots have been described as not having like sharp teeth.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've been described as having fangs very often.
Yeah. But see how his snout comes out a little bit more? It's not as much as a Gugwe, but see how it comes out a little bit more? Where a lot of Bigfoots are more known as faces kind of similar to ours. Makes you wonder. I mean, that could be a Genoskwa could be a totally different species altogether.
It could be. And look, and it's interesting that the depiction of this one is white. Mm-hmm. It's like gray or white. Angel was wondering, when I do a deep mind probe, is that the same as reading their mind? I'm interested on how that works. Yes, it's communicating with the target. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like what you hear about the military using remote viewing. And, I've done many like missing persons cases, cold cases, missing persons cases. And they're all the same. They're all the blind targets. You're just given a set of coordinates. But when you pick up on a person or a consciousness of some sort, you can start doing what we call the deep mind probe. You can ask questions. If you see a person, like I've done missing persons cases or cold cases where I picked up on a man, and his face was covered in mud. And all I could see were the whites of his eyes. He was communicating with me. He was trying to tell me something. And so I asked him, I did the deep mind probe and asked where he was. And he was like, I'm stuck here. I'm locked up and I can't get out. He was like, I'm stuck. He was like, I'm buried. Basically, he was saying he was buried somewhere. And so I took that, and with the other data that I had gotten, we concluded that this person had been accidentally unalived and was buried in somebody's yard or something. And it wasn't until months later we found out I was right. He told me the truth. He had been buried under his buddy's house. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but anyways, but you communicate with that person. It's that precise moment in time and that general location. That was my target. You know, like what happened to them.
Dude,
And,
calm down, bro.
yeah. So thank you for the question. That's a good question.
I get a kick out of this photo because it just popped in my head. That looks like, you remember the 80s movie, The Critters or Critters? That looks like one of them critters off of that 80 movie almost.
Oh yeah, it does. Let's see. Sovereign says those are probably part Draco, the snout and large clown-like smile with insane teeth. I mean, a lot of these things we're looking at could be a chimera of some sort too, right?
Oh, it could be. That's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. Which is really scary because think about like all the times I've questioned if some of these dogmen people are encountering are actual assets with our government and stuff, or some kind of paramilitary sect. And okay, Ryan Tremblay's in the chat. What's up, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
Ryan says Genoskwa weren't said to be snouted like Gugwe. They had more human-like faces or more gorilla-like.
Yep, kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that a little bit more, but yeah.
Okay, so Ryan, so that would indicate that if this creature that we're talking about, the Flintville Monster, it would probably be more like a Genoskwa than a Gugwe. Okay, so if it is that, and I'm only saying that because of the human-like face, the ape-like body, and the sharp teeth. I have to keep going back to the sharp teeth because Bigfoot's not always described with sharp teeth, Eric.
No, I think memory serves me correctly. They got teeth very similar to ours.
Mm-hmm. They do. Well, they're block teeth. Okay, so they're kind of block teeth.
We got canines too because we're armorable, or however you say that. I'm too redneck. Yeah. Yeah, we eat meat and plants, and they do the same things. I mean, they'll have some canines herbivores too, but herbivores eat plants. Armivores eat meat and plants. But we have canines too because we eat meat, so it'd be out of the realm of possibility of them being the same way.
Yes. These things are making some funny looking faces up here. Look at that. Yeah. Type 2. It made me want to make a weird face myself. Okay. But the type 1 would be like a patty type, actually. Okay, like kind of more human. We're talking about the type 3 down there at the bottom with those baboon faces. Now, speaking of a well-known alleged Gugwe case, there's one that I know of that is very popular. It's called the Beast of Seven Shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that thing just looks like a Bigfoot, really, with like a snout on it, like a longer snout. It doesn't really look like a baboon to me.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Ryan is in the chat, and he's talking about how the Genoskwas have maybe more of a human-looking face. Mm-hmm. So that's great information. That's great information. I'm so glad, Ryan. You had said that earlier too, of course, Eric. But
I'm sorry, I just looked over the chat and seen Mother Goose's. Oh gosh,
we have a great chat. We always have a great chat.
Yeah, chat goes so quick. I miss quite a bit of it, but every now and then I'll take a glance over there.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I was going to try to see. Oh, I just wanted to show some more of these. I'll pull this website back up. Actually, I'll show these pictures that I made today because I was trying to like get a good example of like the way that a culmination of how people had described this thing looking. And so I made some AI artwork, y'all. It's not that I made it. People make AI. It's not like you're making it. You just kind of put some, descriptions into the AI machine. And this is kind of like how I was imagining it right here. Like people were seeing it. It looked like a human, kind of.
Oh.
So these are just some examples right here, y'all. That looks more like a werewolf looking fella right there. And his teeth aren't sharp. But yeah, nonetheless, this is not something that I'd want to run into in the woods. Of course, I'm always looking for weird stuff in the woods. But I'm still trying to figure out why it's going for the antennas. And here's another thing too. If it's like 7 to 8, 9 feet tall, Eric, if it jumped on somebody's car, it would crush the whole car in.
Yeah.
And that lady had said that it jumped on top of her vehicle. Okay, so
that's what I was thinking. Okay. I had to look up the Beast of the Seven Shoes for a second because that's the image I like to go to when I'm looking at something very Gugwe like, because of the mandrill like snout to it, and that's the one I was thinking it was. Okay, sorry, my brain goes 90 to nothing because it's got the two dogs in its hands.
it has something white. Here, I'll pull up the picture for the audience. You guys want to see this? I have remote viewed this a long time ago. This is one of my targets, and I don't remember the date. I can look it up if you guys want to know. But this is it. And
yep, right up there.
Here's the original picture right here. This is the original right here, and so let's do a close up.
Yep,
this is the close up right there.
See the poor dog in its arm.
Now, either that's a dog, or they said like a raccoon, or some kind of an animal.
Yeah, to me it looks like a dog.
It looks like a dog or a raccoon to me. I don't think a raccoon would be that big though.
No.
Because you see, it has kind of like a cone-shaped head as well.
Look
I
at
find
that
it interesting.
sausage coming off of you.
Oh yeah. Here's this right here. Somebody put this on there. It says it's huge. And they're kind of showing, what is that, a baboon or something, I guess?
Yeah. Mandrill or baboon, Story.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say like somebody had said their dog had gone missing, or they had lost their dog at this park.
Right. Ryan was just talking about that. That's how I remembered that. The photo is exactly what Ryan was saying right here. He says, Eric, there's a story where a woman reported her small breed dog missing. This took place hours before the Beast of Seven Shoes photo was taken. Yeah, that's why when you said that, that was the things that was popping in my head, and that's why I had to look it up, because it was just like, it's one of those itches you can't get rid of until you see it, and I had to get rid of that itch. But yeah, Ryan, that's exactly what I was thinking of when I heard that. Yeah, and that's sad.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
It is. Here's where somebody had done like a little breakdown of it, of course, and I mean it's all up for interpretation, y'all. This person is actually saying that this is a person, and that's a camera. They were actually, I don't believe that's the camera in a person holding a camera. No. But we got to look at this from all the directions. You know what I mean? And so they got tripod leg, lens of camera, long sleeve, blonde hair, and y'all decide on your own. I don't believe that. I think that's knowing what I know, that's definitely not a human.
I think that is a rare capture.
I do too. And they always get these when they're not looking for something. You know, they took a picture of the waterfall, and then months later, they ended up finding that in the picture. You know what that reminds me of? D.A. Roberts. Remember, D.A. had that. He was out at Joe Bald. Yeah. And he shot that video for it's like a promo for his new book, I guess. And then years later, months later, I don't know how long it was after that, somebody was watching it and noticed that there was movement behind him and on the tree, behind a tree. And I did a remote viewing target for that. And I remember it saying it was a watcher. It was a watcher for that area. Now that's somewhere that you've been, right, Eric? Table Rock. Is that what it's called?
Table Rock Lake. Yeah, I spent many years on Table Rock Lake down at Big Bay Campground. That's where we used to camp out all the time, and they mysteriously closed it down.
Well,
there, I can tell you now, all the years I've camped at Big Bay, there, it's outside of Shell Knob on Table Rock Lake. There at nighttime, that place is active, very, very active. I've been out in my boat catfishing in the cove, where you can't fish from land because of all the cliffs and stuff that's there. There's real steep inclines and cliffs. And I go out that little cove because there's a lot of big catfish down in there. So I take my boat out in that little finger there in that little cove, and that's where I catfish at nighttime from my boat. And I've had big rocks thrown at me from that location before.
Really? That's one of their favorite things to do, is throw rocks at us. They love that. And yeah, it's I guess having rocks being lobbed at normies, like people that aren't used to it, would freak out. I think it's cool.
Oh, the first time
I
the first time it happened to me out there, oh shit. I reeled my stuff in. I went back to camp. I was like, nope, I'm done. Something's throwing that big at me. I don't want one of them hitting me. I mean, it was just, you heard that kapunk. And you can tell it was big by the sound it made when it hit that water, that kapunk. I was like, dude, that's a big ass rock. Nope.
yeah,
Went back.
yeah, that was the last month when I was at Kentucky at the LBL. It was all fun and games getting things thrown at us until one of them threw a rock in the lake right in front of my truck when I had run over there to get my night vision and stuff when we were getting ambushed. That sucked. Okay, that sucked. But I don't know. It just depends on how wild and crazy you are. If you love it or you hate it. Okay, so I love it and I hate it. There's a thin line between love and hate sometimes, and that's what I've experienced out there. But yeah, this is one documented Gugwe allegedly. Even though there's at least one person that thinks that's a person holding a camera.
No. I mean, yeah, you can. Anybody would. I mean, I ain't got very good eyes. I'm wearing contacts right now, and even I can see this. No, not even close.
Yeah, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of disinformation out there too, Eric. You know what I mean? And everybody, it's almost like I'm in this weird place right now where it's like, having a podcast. You start noticing that, like, I'm really getting into this stuff, and it gets real nitpicky. Okay, when I was just researching out in the field, we were just enjoying the environment around us and trying to figure some things out. But man, you get on this podcasting stuff, and you get online, you see like how nitpicky everybody is about this stuff, and no, it's a Genoskwa or a Gugwe and stuff, and that's wonderful. You know what I mean? And I think that we should be making these distinctions. It is, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to wrap your head around. And the purpose of doing this show tonight is to talk about the data that I got from almost like a psychic perspective. You know what I mean? And getting that kind of data. And I do, whatever is out there is 100% violent. It's 100% protecting something. In my opinion, I would say that it's probably been summoned there.
Yeah. I would say you're probably right, because the way that dad is talking with demons and what was it, trapped or something like that. I mean, a lot of that is very much like what I described in that book of mine, and that's because I was like, if humans can be possessed by evil spirits, why can't a Bigfoot type creature be possessed too? And that's why I wrote that book that way, and that's what's blowing my mind, because I mean, literally. That's straight out of my book, and I'm going, wow, that makes me feel good as a writer with my imaginative creativity, whatever you want to call it, and you're getting data to support something like that. I agree with you. I think it was possessed.
Possession. It says trapped soul.
Yeah, that's right.
Guard and protector. So, I mean, this is taking it down a really crazy rabbit hole. If you want to hear it, I'll tell you. Okay. We've talked about, assets, like cryptid assets. My buddy Nick Sylvester, I think Nick's coming back on the show next week, everybody, by the way. But we talk about cryptid assets and stuff. And I know, like I said, it's a crazy rabbit hole, but even cloning, Dogman, and stuff like that. And even the vril, somebody brought up the vril a while ago. Is that Mother Goose maybe? The vril, like getting vriled, if y'all know what that is, vril drones, becoming a drone and becoming something that's not organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be that. It could be that. It could be, that thing I brought. It's interesting that I brought up the Dogman at Table Rock Lake. Okay, whatever that place is. Joe Bald. Okay.
Yeah.
Out in Missouri. That's in Missouri where you live.
Yeah, that's not far from Table Rock. That's on Table Rock Lake. That's not far from Big Bay. It's not far at all.
Well, it's funny that I brought that up, because like that, the data that I got for that said it was a watcher. It was guarding that area right there. And that's kind of what this thing is that we're talking about tonight, is what it said. It's guarding it. And I think that there may be a connection to maybe some kind of underground base or something. Yeah. Some kind of dome.
Yeah, I mean, that's all Army Corps of Engineer property out there. So, I mean, the possibility of something like that being under there is not out of the realm of possibility. Sparta, Missouri, they've got underground military facilities there that's tied to the Springfield Underground. So, I mean, you can't rule that out.
Oh, Sovereign, that's terrible. I'm reading this comment right here. Sovereign Cosmic Wildman says there was a story of someone throwing rocks back at them at a lake. They were in a canoe and threw the rocks back at the Genoskwa, and they ended up dying by the monster. My goodness. You know, there's also, I mean, well, I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but I mean, I've heard stories of people at the Land Between the Lakes. There's multiple stories of people being in boats watching dogmen attack people at the LBL and stuff as well. So I don't know. If I saw that, I don't know what I'd do, y'all. There's no phone service out there. So I guess I'd keep on paddling because I don't want to die too. Okay, but I don't know. Well, I would probably try to handle it. You know what I mean? But who knows?
Get to a safe place and clean my pants when I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You'd probably never hear about it if I had to deal with something like that. I'm just saying. Right. We never talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's terrifying to even think about. Yeah, I mean, I had somebody on the show about I think it was BMR maybe. Oh yeah, it was BMR. He was talking about how he had been in a boat and saw a Bigfoot. I want to say he said it had fangs, if I'm not mistaken. And he said that it screamed at him, and I think the boat flipped over. His girlfriend fell out. I don't remember what all happened. I think his girlfriend fell out of the boat, right? And it scared him so bad.
Yeah.
But man, could you imagine being in a boat and one of these things swims up to your boat, Eric?
Oh God, I'd be like,
dude, what would you do?
I'd become a steamy pile of poo on the forest floor because there ain't nowhere for me to go. So I'm gonna go out screaming.
You are definitely tough. You're tough as nails, man. I don't put it past you. You're too tough for that.
Oh man, I'm too fat and crippled and too long in the tooth to run anymore. I'd run about 5 feet and be out of breath. I'd rather go out swinging than go out trying to gasp for air. There ain't much choice.
Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just probably not going to go fishing in a boat at the Land Between the Lakes. Actually, I have a friend of mine who has a friend. I got a friend who has a friend who owns some kind of like resort or some kind of, I don't know, I think it's like houseboats that you can rent. And it's kind of like on the Land Between the Lakes, like at the lake. And I was thinking, man, I don't know if that's very safe. I don't know. Yeah. Being out there in the middle of the night on like a houseboat and like someone's like an Airbnb kind of thing on a boat. I don't know.
I want to get me a pontoon that I can set up to go out on the lakes for investigations and stuff, so I can have my camera set up, have this other stuff, so I can be out in them little fingers and coves and stuff and record what's going on around me in places like Shell Knob and Joe Bald and stuff like that. At the time I was at Joe Bald with DA, I can tell you now, when it starts to get dark, he ain't kidding. That people start disappearing there. That's a creepy little place.
Oh man. Yes, don't ever go by yourself, y'all. Don't go by yourself. You need to take somebody with you so you can both disappear.
I gotta quit doing that stuff. I really do. I know I do. I preach it, but I don't follow what I preach. I'm bad about that.
I know several of y'all buddies of mine don't listen. Y'all do as we say, not do as we do. No, do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly.
Right.
When I got ran off in that werewolf investigation, I was by myself. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be here if I keep staying here. So I better go."
I remember that. I remember that one.
Yeah, you remote viewed that. And that remote view pretty much hit spot on what I was dealing with out there.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was cool. I think we did a show on that, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. Okay, Ryan, thank you for the clarification on that because that's really cool. That's really sad too. Ryan said in the original story, it was a father and son on a hunting trip. The native guide told them to keep away from a certain island. The son didn't listen. He took the canoe to the island and he was chased by the Genoskwa. It ripped his head off.
Yeah, that's the one I remember too. Yeah.
That really sucks. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we also have an invitation to come up to Illinois. Thank you, Max. That was very sweet.
I haven't been
Uh,
to Illinois in a long time.
oh my gosh.
I'll wait to see the comment on that one. I got a
Wait
good
a second.
brother, got a good brother of mine from the Marine Corps. We went to boot camp together, and he was from Illinois, and I always used to aggravate him saying, "That's Illinois." He'd get so mad at me.
Oh man. You know what? Max said that we would have our own VIP werewolf as a guide and head of
Yeah,
security. At the same time, wait a second. I need a werewolf. Is this the beginning of my werewolf security team, Max?
yeah.
This is
Dude,
the
you got
beginning.
it. You got it now.
I'm assembling my group as we speak. Okay. All right, Max. You got the job. You're hired. Okay. And thank you so much. Rose says they have lung capacity to stay underwater and then surprise you. Oh my God.
That is
That's
a
true.
very, very good, big theory that's out there. And from the stories you hear from ancient people, from our ancestors and stuff like that, I can see where that's definitely a good possibility. My family
Lynn,
is
go
OTW.
ahead. Sorry.
Oh, oh,
Lynn
oh! I
said
was
that she
reading
would
CD.
fatally poop herself. She said,
Oh yeah, oh
fatally.
yeah.
I didn't know that was possible, but that's yes. And Jay Trusier says those Genoskwas can be quite the ass watch.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Underwater Bigfoot. They don't. What is that? The aquatic ape theory? I don't know what that has to do with any of this, but
I mean, if you got an aquatic ape, I'd say it's probably a misidentification. They just caught a Bigfoot underwater. That's just my opinion on it. I am not telling you that what
yeah.
I'm saying is correct. I'm not saying it's gospel. Don't take it for granted. Take it with a grain of salt, man. But I believe it's a misidentification. They just caught a Bigfoot underwater.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and let's take advice from what Ryan said a while ago, y'all. If you're told by people who live in the area, don't go somewhere, don't go there. Okay, don't go there. Don't push the envelope. Have some. It's out of respect, First of all, for the person who told you that, and I always listen to people who are from those areas. And a lot of times, if I go somewhere like that, I would want to be with someone from that area. I mean, I don't think that I would ever. This is me personally. After going to Kentucky to the land between the lakes, I don't think I would ever go there without someone who was not from there
Yeah.
or didn't know that place like the back of their hand.
That
I just
is,
wouldn't.
yeah, that's definitely one place I don't want to go alone. There's very few places that I'd say I wouldn't go alone there. That's one of them. That werewolf investigation I'm working on, I don't want to go back there alone. Not with what I dealt with. And what I dealt with wasn't a werewolf, by no means. That's one of the biggest reasons why I say no.
Yeah. Uh, I don't. I mean,
Oh,
I would not. Uh, I've the last three. I've gone to the LBO 3 times in the past 3 months now, and so and I've been with War Criminal 7, who's usually in the chat. That's my friend Matt, and he is my tour guide and my security guard, y'all. Okay, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, and he says that I'm his security guard. Okay, but really he's mine. Okay, but he knows that place, and I always ride with him. Okay, because I know he's not going to get us lost. And honestly, there were a lot of trees down that were blocking the roads. Some of them actually like they had been cut down. They had cut marks in them and stuff like over these main roads we were going down,
Mhm.
and which was kind of odd. You know what I mean? But they were from a storm. Maybe that's another conversation right there and stuff. But he knew how to like take other roads to get around them to get all these cemeteries we were going to, and also Barton Nunley. I was with Barton and his wife Tish, and who else? I don't know. Oh yeah, my friend Anna. She's been on the show before, and her husband. And I mean, those people in Cara was that Cara. But that crowd right there, they know that place like nobody else. And so yeah. So if they say we're not going somewhere because of something or this or that, I'm not going there. Like first of all, and they they have respect for the land, and so I have respect for them and I have respect for them. So, but
Yeah,
anyways, that
I
place
was
is where
talking.
multiple people had died from Dogman attacks and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought this dude was my bodyguard until weird things start happening in the woods and he leaves me high and dry. He's at the field just like, I'm not coming back in. Oh man, I thought I lost my dog that day. That had me so worried.
No,
Dude left
no,
behind dry, man. Can you believe that?
no.
Getting activity in the trees. I'm like, cool, my guests are here, and then all of a sudden, where's Snow? I can't find Snow.
Oh, that dog's
And
smart.
yeah, he was out in that field. I was freaking out because like, where's my dog?
The
I was
dog
like,
hightailed it back to the house. That's where the dog is.
I kept calling him. He would not come back in them woods. He stayed right there at the edge of that tree line. He just running back and forth trying to see me. I was like, dude, you left me hanging, man. Thought we were bros.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Andrew Morris. Thank you so much, Andrew. That's so sweet. From South Wales, UK. Been a fan for years. Good work. Thank you.
I'm
You know what?
actually,
We might be cousins because my family's from Wales, actually.
I'm
So
actually
I'm from Welsh
working.
and
I'm,
Scottish, by the way.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'm actually working on a book that the original telling of a certain character from history comes from Wales.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I've always been told I'm a Jones, and all the Joneses come from Wales. You go to Wales, everybody's a Jones, except for Andrew. He's a Morris. Okay, but I
Yeah.
bet you know some Joneses. I bet.
I've known a few. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, this person we know from history, we know the Catholic telling of this person. Um, but yeah, the original story comes from Wales.
Oh yeah. You know what? I know people who are on the way to Kansas City too, and
Yeah.
some Dukes, and I told them to say Missouri, Missouri, on the way to KC. So yeah, I guess. Oh, I guess so. They're having all the soccer games all over the country right now, or something. I don't even know how that
Uh,
works. I'm watching. Okay, but Eric, they say that actually on June the 24th, which is in about a week, there's going to be a mass UFO abduction scenario in Miami. Some psychic lady with a big social media following, so she must be right. She's got a big social media following.
that'd be
Yeah.
interesting. I was still kind of sick last week, so I didn't do very long shows. I missed a week before because I just couldn't talk. But I was doing some on these UFOs in the UFO files last week. I only did like an hour on it because I just got to the point where I couldn't breathe very well. But it's kind of interesting what's going on, and a lot of these reports is very similar to what I've seen throughout this world. I even talked about one of them. I showed the picture of, and it was very similar to what I seen at San Diego when I was in boot camp.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Angel had just said we need to come out to, is it Arizona? They have the is it Mongolian monster? Is that how you call it? Is that what you say? The Mongolian monster, I think, right? I think that's like a Bigfoot out there. And Ryan said, if Eric tags along, I can show them where I had my Dogman encounter. Oh yeah, Ryan, you saw the hyena type Dogman out there, right?
Yeah.
That's the type that I saw in Alabama. Actually, those are very common.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm not going to say they're very common, but like they're commonly reported right now in the Dogman encounters. So, yeah, I remember that, Ryan. And yeah, that would be cool. Ryan lives out west.
Yep.
Let's forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of these days I'll be rich and famous where I can travel and do some more investigations.
Yeah.
I want to get back to Australia, like wicked bad. I want to get back to Australia. I miss Australia.
Oh, yeah. You have traveled the world for sure. And sea squatch. Have you ever seen a sea squatch?
No, I've seen a sea turtle.
I have too. I had one swim right up to me one day, and that was scary. But then it was awesome.
Yeah, I was going to jump in the water and catch this big fish. Come find out it was a barracuda, and I'm a hillbilly from Missouri. I didn't know what the hell a barracuda was. Luckily, my CO stopped me from doing it, and he kind of told me what a barracuda was. All I had was my K-bar. I was like, man, I'm going to jump in here and stab this big fish with my K-bar. I want to eat good tonight. And my CO was like, you don't want to do that, son.
Oh, no, heck no. Okay, so I'm planning a trip out west now. I am, because there's too much fun stuff going on out there. Superstition Mountains and nearby reservations and S Walker hotspots. I'll be darned.
Mm-hmm.
You got to come out
Dude,
there. Let's plan a trip. We're going to plan a tour.
I got a brother that has a Airbnb cabin out by the Superstition Mountains. So I'm wanting to get a bunch of people together, investigators, and we all go up there. He says, I'll have you up here. And he goes, you can investigate all you want, and I want to know what you find.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Well, I got, my brain's working overtime right now thinking about this. Like, I got to look at my schedule and we're going to plan something, man. Steve Wolf says, hey, Steve, said Mark Zasky, Crypto Reality has a photo of a Sasquatch in a river face up swimming under a bridge he stood on in South Florida. I want to see that.
Heck yeah.
I do. So I guess they do swim baths. I guess they're in the river. They shower. Maybe those are the ones that don't smell so bad.
He's just practicing his backstroke.
Mm-hmm. Michigan Samuel says, does Sasquatch have webbed feet and hands? Not usually. Not usually. What is that? Is it the Lake Worth monster, maybe? I think that's kind of like described as kind of like a Bigfoot type cryptid that has webbed hands, webbed feet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they can. But I don't know. They're all different. Who knows, man? Yeah. There's probably all sorts of like experimentations and weird things that have been made in labs and things that are natural. I don't know. But
yeah, you want some interesting stuff, man. One thing I missed talking about talking with the Aborigines in Australia is the stuff that they experience out there. Dude, that's a place you got to go. Or remote view or something. I mean, that country's beautiful, and there's a lot of high strange stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that'd be definitely worth going to. As we're swimming like people do and going underwater. Oh, sure, yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, that's nasty, dude. You had to do that in my arms? That's not very cool, man. I can taste that.
Oh no, that's.
Whew. Bro, that was bad.
I think that happened last time you came on the show too.
Yeah, that was usually Boar. Boar's outside right now, but
gosh,
this little one here did it now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. I'm trying to see. Okay. Paying attention to all these comments over here. See if we got any questions or anything in the chat tonight. Because I think that we've had some great comments tonight in this chat, and I have thoroughly enjoyed talking about this because it actually kind of, I wanted to bring up too, someone just asked about the webbed feet and webbed hands of Bigfoot. There is an entity, there is a creature out of Canada and Alaska. They call it the Kushtaka. And I think I saw, maybe Ryan had brought that up a while ago, but they call it the otter man. Okay, so there's that. It's not an actual Bigfoot. It looks more like an otter man. Mm-hmm. And some of them are white. Okay, some of them are white. Most of them are brownish color or dark color. And they call them sirens. Mm-hmm. They actually will trick people. They sound like children. They'll cry and they'll scream in the ocean to lure people in to try to save them, and they drown those people. Mm-hmm. And they sound like kids. So that's why they call them sirens. And so, you got to be really careful. They are deadly. And they're shapeshifters, too, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, original sirens date back to Greek mythology, and they flew. They were bird-like. But throughout the years, mariners and stuff like that made them into very much mermaid-like. So it's kind of interesting if there's different types out there because of the otter man situation and the mariners' tales and stuff like that of their sirens. But the original telling of the sirens goes back to Greek mythology, and they flew around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really cool. That's a good target right there, Michigan Salmon. RV, who's creating all these crazy cryptids, I think I've RV'd that inadvertently through a bunch of different targets, including Dulce Base, I believe, and stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of weird experimentation going on.
Dulce is, man, that place is weird.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I can't hold both at the same time.
Jojo, I keep seeing that Pine Gap. What's up with Pine Gap? I don't know what Pine Gap is. Here, I'll look at Pine Gap sometime. But that would be, we'll put that in the pot, okay, to do an RV target on that sometime. What is Pine Gap? Is that in Australia? Yeah, we talked about it. Let me look it up real quick. Let me see. Pine Gap. It is Australia. Is that like an Area 51 or something, I guess? It's United. a joint Australian United States satellite communications place. Here, let me pull this up on the screen so y'all can see this.
Okay.
We'll do it to the whole audience. How about that? So it's a joint operation of U.S. and Australia. Let's see. Let's see what comes up. It looks like Area 51 kind of, Pine Gap.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Says communications and signals intelligence surveillance base, an Australian Earth station, 11 miles southwest of the town of Alice Springs. Joint Defense Space Research Facility. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, so the facility is rainfall. A supercomputer complex. Oh, yay.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing nefarious.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I don't know. I might get in trouble for remote viewing that. So I don't know about that one. There's some targets that might be better left alone. Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be one of them, JoJo. I don't know. That would be one of those that I would hope that would not be given to me. Actually. Yes, I have to be careful. I love my life. I'm just saying. I'm having a fun time right now.
That'll get you a knock on the door and a shoelace around the neck in a heartbeat.
I didn't say it. So, yeah. But thank you for the suggestion, though. I do appreciate it. We'll stick to the cryptids, okay? If we can. I don't know. Barry's always given me really interesting targets, too, that have, secret space program connotations, all that kind of stuff. So that's not much different. You know what I mean? So than having a Pine Gap type of target. So anyways. Mother Goose says, I have tales of Pine Gap. We all lived in Alice Springs. My family built their maglevs. What's that? I don't know what it is.
Well, okay. I got my first tattoo in Brisbane, Australia.
Okay. Okay.
I did.
Yeah. Thank you, JoJo. Did you? Okay. Well, yeah. If you guys have any kind of remote viewing targets suggestions, y'all put them in the comments under the video and stuff, or put them in the chat, and we'll add them all to the bowl, okay, to the mix, and we'll get some numbers assigned to those, and those things can be remote viewed, okay, as blind targets. So yeah, that'd be awesome. We're always looking for suggestions over here, y'all, and so yeah, I think this is another fantastic target. I really like doing these targets that people don't know exactly what these creatures are. They've been described in different, colors and I don't know, what do you call it, like emotional states. We all go through different emotional states. Some of us more than others. Okay, just saying. Ups and downs. I get mad. I don't want people around me sometimes either. I go rip off an antenna one day if I needed to. I'd never jump on somebody's car. I don't want to do that.
It's not human. It's not human.
Yeah.
I did a show on that one. That was a creepy little encounter that dude had.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it wasn't Max Life. It wasn't a tramp stamp. No.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have one of those. No, I did. I hit
Nothing
it big
wrong
at the
casino, y'all. Nothing wrong. You got a drink.
I hit it big at the casino there in Brisbane. I went straight to the tattoo parlor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I still don't have a Bigfoot tattoo, by the way. I still don't have any. Or a werewolf or something, y'all. I need
to get that tattoo. I need to get my logo. I need to get my logo on me.
I don't know. Who in here has a Bigfoot tattoo? Raise your hand. I don't.
I don't
know. If anybody in the chat does. I think there are people that have Bigfoot tattoos. Actually, me and Dave Scott were planning on getting matching Bigfoot tattoos in, was that Reno or Vegas? I don't know when the trips were going on. And we walked around town all day in the 110-degree heat looking for a tattoo place. We never found one. And I think it was Reno, actually. Never found a tattoo place from all the walking we did. So we were like, let's just get out of the heat, man. It's too much. So I never got one.
I got an off-topic question for all you Aussies in the chat. Is Club New York still in Brisbane? Man, I hit a bunch of them up, but I had a wild night at Club New York a couple times.
Uh-oh.
I got pissed off of VB, Victoria Bitter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I have a tattoo,
Right.
but I hate needles, so not going to happen. I hate needles too, Ryan, but I can get a tattoo. It's weird. I hate needles with a passion, but I can get a tattoo. I love tattoos. They're addictive.
Oh man, I hate being up high in heights, but I love roller coasters. Go figure, right? I don't know what that's about, y'all. I hate heights, but I love roller coasters. I think it's because I'm strapped in. Like I can't fall unless it's like controlled fall. Okay, so that must be it.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay, John Stewart. What's up, John? I see a white Bigfoot with a red face, 7 to 8 feet tall, 20 feet away. I was in a truck 7-ish in the morning.
Holy crap! Where at, John?
Cool. Yeah, where were you at? What state were you in? Was it Tennessee or Alabama or Georgia? Please let me know. I would love to hear more about that one.
Inquiring minds are interested.
Oh, here you go. Florida, actually. So that's interesting. Hillsborough County, Florida. Hillsborough County. Let me see where that is. Let me look up Hillsborough County real quick because I want to see where that is. I've actually done some Bigfooting up in Chattahoochee, Florida, actually. Hillsborough, Florida. Here, let's see. Let me look on a map. Sorry, y'all. I'm just taking a little commercial break right here. Okay, I see where you are. Okay, Hillsborough County. That's just like north of like Sarasota and Tampa Bay and stuff. It's right there at Tampa Bay, I think. What is that? Oh, wow.
Tyler says
Pinellas County. Okay. Pinellas County. That's interesting. Is that near the Green Swamp and stuff? I don't know. There's a lot of Bigfoot down there in Florida. As a matter of fact, they have a lot of Bigfoots down there. And Brian says, very curious as to why Pine Gap is rarely discussed anywhere. Well, we're discussing here. Pine Gap has come up on my show several times the past couple of weeks. And it's because people in the audience are very interested in knowing more about it. Okay, so, I don't know. Oh, Sovereign says Pine Gap is where the Matrix is supposedly run from. Reptile headquarters. Oh, dang.
Reptilians.
That would be an interesting remote viewing card. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it, not publicly at least. Okay, so we'll see. Yeah. Kirian says, I'm in Victoria, and it's like 3,000 miles away. 3,000. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, that's interesting. Thank you guys so much for all your comments tonight, for everybody being here. And Steve likes Steve, we should go roller coasting together. Coastering.
We need to go scuba diving. I got to get you scuba certified so you can go scuba diving with me.
No, I just said that on a show yesterday. I'm not.
I can't resist.
We're talking about cave scuba diving and stuff, and I was like, hell no. No.
Oh, dude, I love scuba diving. I gotta get you under. Yeah, oh, dude, it's oh my god, scuba diving is so amazing. It's a whole new world, man. Yeah, I'm telling you this now.
I mean, maybe it'd be fun. My friend Bob Grumpy Wilson. Bob, y'all hear me talk about him all the time. He was the head of the North Georgia Cryptid Field Researchers, and Bob, he passed away a couple years ago, but he was in the Navy, and he loved scuba diving and all that, going underwater. He loved all that.
I got certified when I was in the Marines.
Yeah. Wouldn't do that, I don't think. Okay. Oh, okay. John said I'm about 40 minutes from the Green Swamp. So it is near Tampa, right there. Okay.
I got to get down to Florida. I got a good brother of mine from the Army that I got to go down and see. We got to do some python hunting, some gator wrestling. But I want to do some investigating while I'm down there too.
Now I would do that. I would go python hunting for sure.
I want to eat.
If I had some snake chaps and like my muck boots and all that, I would do that. I think that'd be fun. I used to have a pet snake, so I'm not too scared of snakes. Okay, but I don't know. Anacondas, I don't know. I had a boa constrictor.
I just want to see if it tastes like habu, if it tastes like rattlesnake and some others I have. I'm just kind of curious.
Oh man, scuba is awesome.
Dude, see, even the chat agrees with me, man. You got to get it. Dude, I dived Australia too. That was God, the Great Barrier Reef. That was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Rose Thistle knows. She's like, Jessica likes to be able to leave quickly. I do. I will run if I have to. Decompressing would probably not be her thing. Yes,
No.
I know. I would not want to. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Lynn.
I'm taking time with that one.
I'm down like 4 flat tires. Yeah, I'll go python hunting.
Oh man. Well, I'm going to stick to the Dogman and Bigfoot hunting right now. Not hunting, investigating, y'all. I don't go out hunting. Okay. We call it hunting, but we're not hurting anything out there. I promise. Hunting is just an easy way to say investigating.
Yeah, it is.
So, it is. So people have definitely misconstrued what I see. It's fine. It's fine. I still am,
it is a type of hunting. Investigating is a type of hunting because you're hunting for evidence. In a way, investigating is a lot like forensics and hunting combined because you're looking for stuff and you're trying to gather information. So, literally, when you're out doing this stuff, you're investigating, you are being a forensics officer and you are hunting. So, I mean, yeah, you're investigating.
Yeah, we're investigating. I'm really just going out in the woods being crazy, wondering why I'm there. Like whenever at that cemetery, we call it the witches cemetery. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, that was one of those moments where I was like, towards the end, I was so tired because I'd driven up there that day, 6-7 hour drive, It was like something like that. And it was like 4 a.m. the next morning. I was still up in the middle of a witches cemetery in the pitch dark, hearing clicking noises all around us. And hearing things walking all around us. It was just, I was like questioning my life at that point. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Because the clicking is like hell crawler kind of noises, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I was listening to your show on that. And, it's interesting. And I agree with you. What you were seeing wasn't witches stars. That was Eastern Star. Eastern Star is very similar to the Star of David, which the witches have used the Star of David. So a Satanicism used the Star of David. So a lot of times when people see that, they don't realize that's called the Star of David, which is a descendant of Jesus. But that's not to say that there wasn't some in there, So when you're in an area like that and people can manifest stuff. So when you're manifesting that this is witches when it's not, you can actually manifest that stuff there. So if you're there, you got that going on, you got that mindset, and then all of a sudden you're hearing them clickings that sounds like the pale crawlers. I believe it because you literally people can manifest that stuff there.
Well, and plus you got to think about it wasn't just like a Masonic graveyard. There was other people buried there. It was mostly that though. For sure, it was a family cemetery. They even had moonshiners buried out there and stuff with like moonshiners on the graves. Like pictures of moonshiners on the graves with their moonshine stills. It was wild. Man, Eric, it was really cool.
Shiners are my heroes. I love my shine.
Yeah. Oh my God. Shout out to Jimmy, by the way. Jimmy sent me a friend request. He owns the Golden Pond Distillery up in Kentucky. If you guys are in Cadiz, I think that's how you pronounce it. Cadiz, I don't know. Y'all go up there and get some it's the real stuff. It's the real stuff. Like up in Georgia and stuff, you can go buy like the moonshine at the store, but it's not like the real stuff. You know what I mean? Once you had the real stuff at the store ain't that good. Okay.
That stuff is Everclear that's been babyized. No, man. True shine.
That his stuff is the real deal, y'all. It's I'm not gonna say I had a sample of it.
I must partake.
By the way, you got to be careful with that stuff, okay? But his mom, shout out to Susie. I want to say hey to Jimmy and Susie from that. His mom is so sweet. She's a big fan of the show, by the way. And so I was excited to meet her. I was excited to meet her as she was to meet me, by the way. And she was the bartender pouring all the samples. But anyway, shout out to Susie. And if you guys want some really good, get the salted caribou. And also Martin Rose Well, at that event on Saturday, they dedicated a brand new bottle. It's called I think it's the Beast Between the Rivers bottle, and it's dedicated to Martin Groves up there, longtime researcher in the area, and it's got Dogman on it. Okay, so
I need a jug of that. I need to take a little snort from that.
And I do have a couple bottles at the house. I do. Say for special occasion, okay, special occasion, or for a gift to a friend. I don't know. Actually, let's see, Martin and Matt have given me bottles, and I've got my own bottles. So, yes, I see David Pardue in the chat. You know, we all go out Bigfoot and stuff. We don't usually drink when we're out there Bigfoot. Okay, so you got to be careful if you're out there doing your field research. It's probably not best to drink moonshine, y'all. Okay. Don't tell Matthew Delph that, though. Okay. I'm just kidding.
Do not partaketh of the moonshineth when you're hunting cryptids.
Do not. You know what's funny? We're talking about, I'm not going to say the name of this organization, but I have some friends that used to like take people on expeditions and stuff. And they would like drink moonshine on these expeditions and stuff. And they took people Bigfoot. Probably shouldn't say this on air, but anyways, it was so funny because like I met these guys who I was going, you know, on a little expedition with outside of no organizations or anything, just as friends, going out there to go do some cryptid research and stuff. And they started telling me about a trip they had gone on where the guides had gotten completely wasted on moonshine, and they were completely just, they felt unsafe, and you know, like it was the worst trip because their guides had like gotten super. They were kind of drunk the entire weekend. So, and I was like, oh, I know exactly who that was. So be careful, y'all. If you go on an expedition, go make sure your guides are not drinking moonshine stuff. Okay, that's not safe.
If you partaketh of the moonshine while investigating, you might see poured in with their to see.
Don't go with those people, y'all. I'm sorry. I love my friends to death, but like, just be careful. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm sure they have regulations now. Probably it's probably kind of a legal thing now. You can't do that. So we're talking about a long time ago, right? But you know, you get up in the Appalachians, you know, when in Rome. Just saying. Yeah. I guess that's kind of what happened up there. But anyways, that is besides the point. And we have been talking about the Flintville Monster tonight, y'all. And Eric, I want to thank you so much for being here with me tonight, and kind of taking a deep dive into the Flintville Monster. I'm going to say this is a possible Genoskwa, if anything.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, my first thought went to Gugwe, but I can see the Genoskwa side of it very easily. Yeah, I'd say you're probably not far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's no joke.
Probably just a really grumpy Bigfoot, okay, with red eyes. I mean, but we're just getting so many reports of red-eyed cryptids right now. And man, hopefully, I hope that when Nick comes on the show next week, he'll let me show that picture of the Dogman looking at a lady's window, and it's two red eyes shining through her translucent curtain on her window. And let me tell you, I'm just gonna say it. Like I don't know if me and Nick talked about this last time he came on, but Eric, it looks like two Christmas lights. It looks like it's mechanical to me. But this lady's been seeing Dogman all over her property. They've been in her trees. This lady didn't know that Dogman get in trees. You know, she didn't know anything about Dogman. And she said that they've been in her trees around her property.
Wow.
So I want to show that picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you about what I seen in my behind my woodshed back when we had them werecat sightings here on my property and around me?
No, I don't think so.
I seen two white eye shines behind my woodshed, like 6 feet behind my woodshed, not far at all. When I was going out to get some, my God, jealous thing, getting some wood for the stove, and it was like a few days later I had walking on my roof. I'm wondering if it ain't that werecat.
Oh,
you're so
could be. That's right. You do have a werecat.
Mm-hmm.
You got werecats out there.
That's my face.
Ooh. I just noticed. Looks like my internet's getting a little wonky. We're having a bad storm right now.
Yeah,
in
you
my
froze
house.
up a couple times. Chimera, come on, baby, hold on.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
we're having really bad storms right now.
Mm.
It's beating on the house. I can hear it. So sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little digitized, getting glitched out. It's because we were talking about moonshine.
Yeah.
So it's like, shut up, Jessica. Quit talking about that.
But, yeah, I want to see
Yeah,
that
well, that's
picture you was talking
interesting.
about.
You know what we should do? We should get a time and a date. You should get it all. Get that whenever that happened. I could remote view it for you one day.
I
That
can
would be
give you
fun.
the
Find out
rough
what that
rough
is.
time. I can give you a rough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my
It was
team to
like
remote view it.
couple. I mean, that's when that was back in January. When we had that mishap with me where I kind of disappeared for 5 days, and
Yes.
came home, heard about Da and Steve seeing that one in my on my property, and then it was like a week or so after that when I seen the eye shine behind my woodshed, and then like a week or two after that, you heard something walking around, kind of heavy, walking around on the roof of my house while I was trying to go to sleep.
Ooh.
I've missed you too, baby. I really have, but I'm on the show, so you have to behave. Okay?
I know. We're gonna.
My little Chewbacca.
She's. Oh, that dog is so cute. All your pets are adorable.
This is my youngest daughter's dog, and apparently I'm now babysitting until she can find a place that she can have it. Yes, I know. And she gets very, very upset whenever I'm gone.
Oh, she's licking that. Hey, look at that tongue. Okay. Nathan, thank you so much, Nathan. He says, the earthquake off Florida in Cuba engulfed remote viewing target, pyramids underwater.
That's a lot awesome. Of stuff. Yeah.
I believe I've remote viewed the Bermuda Triangle. That's not off the Gulf. It's not off the Gulf though. But I remote viewed the Bermuda Triangle, and I believe there were like crystals and like gigantic crystals were in my data and stuff. It was wild. Thank you for that super sticker, Nathan. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being here.
You're badass, dude.
Yeah. What's going on?
Mozart.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Bounty Hunting Bear says, speaking of storms, if you live by any dams, please keep an awareness of rains and dam breakage.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. That's actually kind of an ominous type of a message that I got from a friend of mine who does some contract work with the government, or used to. I don't know if she still does or not, but she told me a while back when I first met her, she said, there's something about the dams and the natural state of the earth that's going to have to go back to get into the balance. And that may include the dams breaking and things like that. And yeah, it was kind of an ominous thing that she said to me I think that was like 2 years ago. And like I said, she works with the government and stuff. So I don't know. I think I don't know if she said that from I think it was just a friend standpoint.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I listen to what everybody says, y'all. Okay. I read into stuff too much sometimes too, though, probably. But anyways.
We all guilty of that.
Yeah, we do. It's okay. Listen, I pay attention. Okay. Pay attention. Pay attention to the small things. And you pay attention to the pattern, so do I. And I think that we've done a great job tonight, Eric, of trying to figure out what this daggone monster is up in the Appalachians. Probably up there drinking moonshine.
The Appalachians is popping. I mean, the Appalachians is popping. And people don't realize, I live here in the Ozark Mountains. And Ozark Mountains is the oldest mountain range in the world. And it used to be attached to the Appalachia. So there's a lot of stuff. The reason why we have a lot of similarity to the things going on with the Appalachians is because we all used to be connected at one time before, the Ozark Mountains got eroded down. Dude, it's popping. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I can speak from experience. It's true. Very true. And so y'all come visit. Don't go to Appalachians. Y'all come visit. I'm definitely coming out to Missouri sometime though too. Whether it be for a conference or just go Bigfooting or whatever, I'll swing by, and then we'll take a trip out west. Okay, Eric, you want to go with me?
I need to get rich and famous.
Yeah,
I got some traveling to do.
Oh man. Well, if you think about it hard enough to manifest it, okay?
Yeah. I've been trying. I'm trying. It ain't working yet, but I'm trying.
Stay positive, okay? Stay positive. Use some manifestation techniques. Okay. And yeah, we also do that. And thank you, Max. He says there are 2 crystal pyramids underwater in the Bermuda Triangle area.
There's a
Picked
lot
up
of
on
stuff in the
Bermuda.
Bermuda. There's a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
Have you scuba dived down there to those pyramids?
No, but I want to. I ain't even scared to. I want to.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, if I'm going to go out, might as well go out having fun, man. You know, I always plan on going out, sliding my bike sideways into the hole and go, man, that was one hell of a ride. You know, why not go out having fun?
I had to pull this up because this is interesting. I don't know, Sovereign, did you see my show on Monday? I showed a picture of, oh gosh, I think I'm frozen. No, I'm back. I showed a picture of that, what they call the witches cemetery where I was. Where they had like, some of those graves were from the 1700s and they had like pentagrams and stuff on it too. Okay, so I showed the trees that like they had been lasered, the limbs had been lasered cut at the top basically. And so the fact that you're saying this is kind of weird because Sovereign says they laser chop tops of trees. Look out for this. If you see it, it's one of their travel zones. Are you talking about Dogman? What are you talking about there? I want to know more, Sovereign.
When I seen that, I was thinking that blue laser that comes down and burns everything up except for a certain color blue. That's
the
what
blue
I thought.
Okay. That's interesting, Sovereign. Please tell me what you're talking about because I showed a picture of that around that cemetery where the trees looked like they had been chopped off at the top and they were laying on the ground. It was weird, like they had been cut or like laser cut actually. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm just curious about that. So, Sovereign, if you're still in here, tell me, okay? And if you don't hear this until after the show, put it in the comments or something. Send me a message, okay? Mm-hmm. And because that is something that we saw, and I showed a picture of that out on the show on Monday. Okay, so okay.
Spelunking. Oh, I love spelunking. Yeah, I can't get you in a cave. I can't get you go scuba diving. What am I going to do with you, Jessica?
I'll go. It doesn't mean I'm going to like it, but I'll do it. I'll try anything once. Okay.
You'll probably beat me up. Get me out of here.
No, I probably have the time of my life. I say I don't want to do it, and then I get there, and I couldn't get enough of it, probably.
Dude, I love caving, too. Caving is, there's a lot of weird stuff in caves.
They're travel zones. Okay. Okay, well, okay. Well, hopefully I'll hear back from Sovereign with that one. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for it, too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Eric, before we go tonight, first of all, I want to thank you for being here again. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
He answered me. The show. I've known about this particular detail since 2016 when I noticed treetops were laser cut. Turned out to be heavily traveled Sasquatch area.
Interesting.
Well, so like the humans are doing that to show the humans are laser cutting the tops of those trees. I'll break down a full detail in a future upload of mine. Okay, we can go to the Sovereign Cosmic Wildman on YouTube, y'all. He's got his own YouTube channel. I'll stay. You need to be my guest on a show sometime, Sovereign. Okay, come on the show. You be my guest. We'll talk about it too. Right. And that's fantastic. That is something that we did encounter at that cemetery. It looked like the tops of trees had been laser cut in like one area, and the limbs were on the ground by the cemetery. Okay. So anyways, all right. Well, it's very interesting information. Thank you so much for being here, Eric. Let's talk about, tell everybody where they could find you and your books and all that, your YouTube channel, whatever you'd like to promote tonight.
Yeah. You can find me at The Bizarre and the Unknown on YouTube. I've got other platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, Rumble. I haven't been doing a whole lot on them lately. I need to. I'm busier in the hiccup. This promotion and this new job, it's the same. I work for the same place. I just got a new position. It's my busy year, but you can find me on YouTube at The Bizarre and the Unknown. You can also find me on YouTube at William Nighthawk's High Strangeness podcast channel on YouTube as well. My books, I write horrors, cryptid horrors, historical fiction, sci-fi. You can find them on Amazon. 6 out of my 8 books are on audio. I'm working on the other ones right now. Thank you, Nathan. So yeah, I have fun. I'm working on, I've got so many book ideas. I was working on my vampire book before we came on live, but yep, that's some of them.
Yeah.
So the Beast of the Ozarks was the one I was talking about earlier. Beast of the Ozarks First Kill. You're going to see two different editions on that. The red lettering has pictures, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive because it's actually got artwork that I created for that book. So it's in that one. If you see the gray one, that's the cheaper one. It doesn't have the artwork to it. Dawn of Armageddon, Reign of the Draugr, Dawn of Armageddon is my take on. People don't know that Draugrs are the Nordic zombie that takes place in St. Joe in 2019. Most of my books you can actually get on Google Maps, and anywhere I talk about, you can literally follow Google Maps and follow the book at the same time. Of course, you got Saga Grimson Book 1, The Beginning. That one there's Saga Grimson Book 2, Black Death. That's my first books I put out. My sci-fi there. The Ahinyar Book 1, Emergence. And then my historical fiction, it's the Mountain Man series there, The Dolph's Land Beyond. Yeah, I've got several books. I've got 8 books out there already. So,
Oh yeah, there's more. I just had to scroll.
Yeah, Ben Jerengard Book 1's House Battle, sequel to Saga Grimson's, takes place off the Allied soldiers of World War II and the enemy soldiers of World War II, talking about the German werewolves. Then you got my Viking Age Secrets of Mercia, which is another historical fiction of mine that you can find too. I had a lot of fun writing that one too. I love writing. I'm dyslexic. It's hard to read, hard to write, but I like doing it. There's Saga Grimson Book 1, The Beginning.
You're good at it.
I have fun, man. I'm working on multiple books. I was working on my vampire one before we came on. It's called Death and Rebirth: The Untold Story of Carrion. There's the cheap version of the cheaper version of Beast of the Ozarks. That's the one that doesn't have the pictures. All my art covers I create except for my first one, which was Saga Grimson Book 1, The Beginning. All the rest of the artwork, I make that for my books. So,
yeah. Cool.
That's it. And I think that's pretty much everything I'm on. I'm just busy and hiccup right now.
Well, I sure do appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with me today.
I love coming on with you. It's always fun.
We always have a good time, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me show the audience your YouTube channel as well. Y'all, please go over and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's sharing.
Get to hear this old hillbilly talk. There she be.
Yeah. The bizarre and the unknown. Yeah, let's get you up to 1,000 subscribers. Shoot,
man, I'm at 869 already. Wow, I haven't checked it in a while.
It's growing every time you come on the show, man. Let's y'all be sure to subscribe, okay?
Yeah, and I really don't pay attention to that. The only time I ever notice it's when I'm on there trying to dispute something. Like I've been writing my own music stuff, and I've been having these Chinese company trying to say that's my music. No, I don't think so, Scooter. You might want to rethink that. So I'm usually getting on there disputing that. But yeah, that's some of my. Yeah, we did UFOs last week, and I've kind of dived into them UFO files and some of the other stuff's going on. And what spurred that one up was played a video from Jesse Waters from Fox News when he was kind of talking about it, and that's kind of what spurred that show on. I need to do it again because I couldn't do more than an hour. So I'm going to do another one on this UFOs again because I think it's something that's very important. And I loved the fact that when we was going through the files on the show that, everything that we've been saying for years that they said, oh, you guys are nuts. You guys are the literally military secretaries of war and stuff like this, talking about how this stuff is authentic.
Yeah. Of course it is. We're crazy until they tell us the truth, right? And then we're right the whole time. Hate how that works. That's why I don't believe nothing about nothing. It comes out of the government.
My intros and outros, I wrote them songs, and that's videos you see on that is actual investigations I've been on. I've been starting to record my investigations, and I put them up on my YouTube channel as well, along with short stories I write, different kinds of stuff. But yeah, Baba Yaga was a good one.
Oh yeah, you put out some great information, Eric, and I can really appreciate that, big time. In the Werecast, I want you to come back and let's talk about Werecast again sometime. And maybe we can do like a remote viewing target sometime of that thing that was on your property.
Yeah, we need to. I think we did once, but No, that was in a different location, close to me, but not on my
Yeah.
property. I take it back. We haven't done one on my property.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that one out. We'll hopefully I can get to something like that here in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys please go check out also Nighthawk High Strange's channel as well. Y'all please go over there and subscribe with William.
My good brother William. You have a good dude.
Oh yeah. And the Bizarre and the Unknown, and purchase author Edie Tesherman's books over on Amazon, y'all. And if you guys want access to any of the remote viewing data for the show tonight, y'all go over to Patreon as well and become a member. And I want to thank all my members for supporting my work and stuff. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, all this is for entertainment purposes only. Of course, y'all know that. It's all.
Are you not entertained?
Bread and circuses. I don't know. Yes, it's all entertainment, but my gosh, I'm having fun. I'm entertained.
Y'all gotta get over there and buy some stuff off her War Woman goods too, by golly George.
Oh yeah, thank you, Eric. I forgot to mention that, y'all. If you'd like some goods, I think it's on sale right now. I think I put it on sale the other day, so the whole shop is on sale. If y'all want to go over there on Etsy, I don't know. I was gonna take all my stuff off of there, put it on my website, and then I got too busy. So,
yeah, I finally got my press in where I can start making shirts and hats and stuff like that. I just haven't had a chance to get down there to get to the vinyl, see how much it's going to cost, because I'm tired of them companies charging like a buttload for my merchandise, and I see very little of it. So I'm like, if I can make it myself, people who want to buy my merch, I can sell it to them at a cheaper price. So I'm going to get here soon where I'm making my own stuff, and I'll just have to get it set up where they can buy it off a link somewhere and goes to my PayPal.
Yeah, that's something that I am working on. Maybe work on that like tomorrow. Merchandise, y'all. I want to know for the audience, would you guys be more interested in the Cryptid Huntress Dogman, like the little blue Dogman that's up here in the corner and behind us on the background? What is your favorite design that I put out? Is it the Dogman in the blue? Is it the Dogman in the brown? Is it what looks like the National Park arrowhead that says the Cryptid Huntress on it with the Bigfoot? Y'all like that better?
You can have that arrowhead on the front and that logo on the back.
Yeah, I could. Well, I like to keep it kind of uniform. I don't know. We'll see. And I also have the Bigfoot with the checkered flags, the Talladega Squatch. Do y'all like that one? I like all of them. Should I just put them all out there for merchandise?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who's partial to what, y'all. Everybody's different.
Hey, everybody's got their own cup of tea. If you can serve them what tea they like, might as well go for it.
Yeah. Dogman in blue. I see that, Angel. Thank you. Bigfoot Karen. Oh, the Bigfoot Karen. I almost forgot about it. Everybody loves my Bigfoot Karen.
I forgot about that one.
Thank you, Rose. Thistle artwork. Yeah, I like Bigfoot Karen's a good one too. So I may run wild with that one as well. So she wants to speak to your manager, Eric.
No, that's me.
It's me. Bigfoot Karen needs she needs to speak to your manager. Speak to your manager. She is living. She's living. She's a real kid.
What did I do wrong?
Oh man.
Where she's at?
Bigfoot Karen is my favorite. I know. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens, y'all. And yeah, but until then, I'm gonna be the guest, Dave's guest on Spaced Out Radio tomorrow night.
Cool.
It's gonna be midnight my time, 11 o'clock Central. What is that? 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know.
This should be
it's midnight. That's all I know.
10 o'clock your time.
It's 12 o'clock my time, y'all. 12 a.m. So it's actually Saturday, but it's Friday. Tomorrow night on Spaced Out Radio, I'll be talking about Kentucky Dogman and all my adventures and stuff out there with Dave. It's going to be fun. So y'all come see me over there. And then I'll also have Bryce Edwards on the schedule out of Illinois, by the way, for our Saturday night show. So y'all come back and see me then. And Eric, you've got live shows this weekend, right?
Yeah. I should have campfire chats tomorrow. If you want to share your encounters and you want to come on live and share them, I'll bring you on live. You can share your encounters. You just want to talk about it in chat, we can just put it in chat. That's what Saturdays is for. It's open mic night. I love hearing encounters. It's just like we're sitting around a campfire telling stories of our stuff. if there ain't a lot of stuff going on, we usually go on the topic on something. But that's what it is. That's what Saturdays is: campfire chats with Eric and guest. Sunday, I don't know for sure what show I'm going to be doing Sunday. I've got a couple people because I need to bring Brian on. I've got another guy that's had some Bigfoot encounters in his area that I need to get on too. I've just been sick the last few weeks. I haven't got anybody on. I'm probably going to wait till next week where I start doing that just because I want to make sure that I'm completely over this sinus infection.
Well, y'all, hopefully everybody's going to be, y'all better be subscribed over to the Bizarre and the Unknown, y'all. If you're not, go over there right now and subscribe, okay? And go support here this weekend and always. And yes, thank you so much again for being here, Eric. And I always, anytime I'm available, I always try to jump in your chat or watch your shows and stuff, even with William. On what is that, Saturday mornings, Saturday and Sunday, or depends?
Saturday and Sunday mornings. And I haven't been able to get on with him Friday nights because this new position I work Tuesday through Friday now. And this time of year, like I said, I'm working. I mean, I've got so much overtime built up because I'm just working nonstop, and something's messing with my camera again. I'll just reset it. There we go. But there's times I try to go on with him on Friday nights. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you, Steamboat.
Awesome. Okay. Well, before we go tonight, thank you all so much. Wait, who said? Yeah, Arrowhead. You guys are giving me all of your suggestions here. Thank you, man. Yeah, I like the Arrowhead too. Oh my God. And okay, I want to thank everybody who gave super stickers tonight and all that kind of good stuff. Larry Sharp, thank you for being a member of the Hunt Club for 26 months. That is wild. That is really cool. Thank you so much for all your support, Larry. I appreciate you. And thank you for gifting that Cryptid Huntress membership. Also, Michigan Sandman, thank you for the super sticker. Angel, thank you for the super sticker. Nathan, thank you for the super sticker. And Steve Wolf, I saw that you sent something to my PayPal. Thank you so much for your support as well, Steve. You're the sweetest, man. I love y'all. And I guess I will see you guys back here on Saturday night. Thank you so much for all the support tonight. And I'll see y'all over on Space Out Radio tomorrow night. All right, Eric. Everybody have a great night. And we'll see y'all back on the YouTubes next time. Bye, y'all.
Peace, love, and blessing.